Do I even have a stream link anymore? Like, am I a real person? Hi. Not that folder. Is it you? Yes. No, not you. What did I choose? You chose. Look, you literally rigged the vote and still lost. No, I voted for... I submitted my vote. I am a part of the people, and I can vote while being part of the people. And I submitted my vote. If I rigged the vote, then what I would have done is I would have, like, told every single person that I know to vote for White Knuckle. But this is not the reality we live in. What is White Knuckle? It's literally a game about climbing. It's kind of like a speed-running climbing game. The entire purpose is just to go really fast. I mean, technically not. The entire purpose is to climb, like, up. And then you get good at the game and you're like, what if I climbed really fast? We live in the better timeline now. We live in one of the two timelines that could have been chosen. Getting over again. Absolutely the fuck not. White Knuckle's my favorite game. I was in a call earlier today where like 3 of us were wuckling it. And it was a glorious time. We were all having a great time wuckling. Is this the diving into Satan's asshole cave game? No, it's a different game. That's Amazing Mirror. No, that's the one we're playing. That's Superstar Ultra. That's the one. How? So no, what are we talking about? The giant scary bears that have just been released into every single neighborhood. Time for Kirby. We just got done talking about the proper safety method to not get mauled by the big scary bears. I hope you were paying attention. What do you call it? Tomodachi life. Eh? I don't. You're looking forward to Vampire Crawlers tomorrow. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's the card game. Eh? I'm more excited for, like, Yun Denpa. I need my Denpa. Like, this is the kind of shit that, like, this comes out, I think, on Thursday. Like, this is what I'm excited for. I keep calling this the last good game that will ever come out. And now everybody else in my friend group is calling this also the last good game to come out. See, Elner gets it. Beautiful, beautiful game. This game was made with a purpose, and it's following that purpose through to the end, and that's what, like, I intensely love about it. It's like, it's one of, like, the most video game-ass things ever. Because it's just like, what if there was, like, an anime girl that was hyper-obsessed with a side character from a VN that, like, ended forever ago, and she can influence reality by just, like, being so fucking brain-rotted. And she just constantly says, let's get Skibbity Denpa up in this bit. And I'm like, fuck it! That's a good video game! I don't want to miss that stream. I will play it, but currently I have to, like, do a bunch of things. I don't know when I'm gonna play it, because I have to go to Germany on Wednesday. And then I'm there until June. And then I also have to be on, like, everybody else's Limbus streams. Because I am Johnny Limbus. No, Wednesday stream. This week? Yeah, this week. The Wednesday stream then. No. Well, I mean, maybe. I could stream and then just immediately go to the airport, but it would have to be a really short one. Because I do 10, 11, 12, 1. I could stream for like 3 hours. And then that'd be it. Cook is useless. I'm dead. Okay, will you be on my Limbus stream? No, I don't know you. I mean, I'm going over this time to, like, go to Dokumi. And then also, just drop off a bunch of stuff. Like, I'm gonna pack my suitcase full of stuff. And then I'm just gonna leave a lot of that over there. There's a Penis Living Thursday stream. No. Will you be on my Tomodachi Island? I don't really think I get a choice in that matter. Good old throw. Nothing beats that. My hand hurts. I was wuckling too hard. But I want to unlock the funny hands. So I need to get like 10,000 meters. You buy Project Moon merch at Dokumi. If I can find any. I think I also need to get euros for that. Because I don't know if they'll take like I don't know if they'll take card. Or if they'll, like, all of them will take card. There's like too many things here. It's like mini here, get rid of it, explode, another mini, into the second mini. Oh. cutter. Wow, what an ability. Oh my gosh, it's Boxer. Oh, he packs a punch. Damn. He got me. Because the thing is like, whenever I go to conventions, the main thing I like doing is looking at everything and being like, yep, I looked at it. Because whenever you want to buy something at a convention, it's like $8 gorillion. And I don't have $8 gorillion. I have like $8. Which is a far cry away from a gorillion dollars. Damn, he's good. Damn, he's good. I don't need that. You can break the blocks that are gray. Yes. Gorillion dollars. It did not say gorilla dollars. Your brain is rotted to the core and you will die in 7 days. Your flight goes well. I'm more happy about the fact that I've got a 1 hour layover in Atlanta because that's like optimal time for me. I fucking hate layovers. Hi, Viz. How'd your wing farm go? Because whenever I go to flights, right? I don't want a layover. Because every time it's like, oh, well, I mean, if you have a long layover, why don't you just sit around, you know? Why don't you go, like, explore the airport? That's money I don't have. If you've got explore the airport money, that's great. I don't have it in me to spend $50 on a sandwich that sucks. Hi, V. Good morning. 3 whole wings and none of them mine. Damn. I don't want to deal with long-ass layovers. I don't either! It's like an hour and 90 minutes. That's 2.5 hours. I can tolerate at most a 5-hour layover. Anything longer than 3, and I'm debating, like, you know, blood sports. Still over that sandwich, huh? It was like $25, and it sucked. They put it in, like, what I thought was a toaster grill thing, and it was cold. How do you do it? There was, like, a whole-ass pickle on it. I don't even think I asked for a pickle. They just put a whole-ass pickle on it. I didn't want it. They put it in, like, the froster. They made my sandwich cold and gave me a whole pickle. $1 hour to 90 minutes, I said. I thought you just said 1 hour and 90 minutes, and I was like, you say 2.5 hours weird. An entire ass pickle. Biz gets it. It's a whole ass pickle. I didn't want free pickle. It's not free. It was $21. If it was a free pickle, there'd be a lot less to talk about. I spent 50 AUD on 3 different alcoholic drinks at the airport because I wanted to drink after the ordeal. I had flowers before I had to get to the airport. That's how they get you, though. Like, they put you in a closed gate economy. Like, oh, well, you can't go back out without getting checked through TSA. So maybe you should just go ahead and pony up the fucking $30, all right? For a bottle of water. And a pickle. Every airport has the pickle. 21 bucks for a pickle. It was like 21 bucks for a pickle. It was like 30 bucks for the pickle. It was kind of basically like $40 for the pickle. I don't know where I'm going, by the way. I'm just kind of walking around and hoping that things change. This is usually how I play Amazing Mirror. But airports suck. Everything is like too expensive. And there's a constant looming sense of dread of if you fuck up like one thing, you're never getting out. Are you gonna watch the FanFest live out of pure curiosity or your pals be inevitably filling you in afterwards? Okay, so here's the thing. No. I don't care. I'll watch it once it's done. and then I'll see if they're finally changing jobs to be fun again. And if they're not, then I'm going to once again not buy an expansion. I'm gonna continue to be unsubbed from the game for another like indefinite amount of time. You should add a class where it's just gambling. They should add random fucking procs back. Don't get me started. I'm gonna start screaming again. I already screamed about like this with other people. Because I was like, I was already talking about Astrologen. Because I was like, Astrologen used to be fun. Because they would put in random cards. And you had to guess. Not really guess. You had to react to what your cards were. So like if you drew a card, you had to be like, how can I best play this card in this current moment? And it was cool and interesting, and it was a slightly dynamic thing you could do as a healer, which is more than you do now, which is just sit there and watch the warrior heal everybody in the fucking party, and you hit one. That's it. Oh, you're playing healer? Make sure you apply your DOT and then just keep hitting your fucking one button. Ah! Today I will play the healer class in Final Fantasy XIV. Today I will hit the 1 damage button with the DOT button tacked onto the side. I am engaged with this gameplay. That's skill expression that SE hates. They fucking... I died again. The boxer. But no, because like 2 people in the balance Discord had to complain about like, I don't like having to pull for the balance pre-pull every time. I don't care! You're gonna sit there and rifle through your deck until it works. Because that's what you picked. You picked the random card job. Deal with the random cards. I'm going to come to your house and turn all of your fucking nerves into goo by putting you in a centrifuge. Ah! I have strong opinions about Final Fantasy XIV because I've seen the game be fun, and then they just made it like inherently very not fun over time, which is just kind of like a why did you do this type thing. It doesn't really matter that I died there because I just would have let me back here anyway. So it's like, whatever. Thanks, Mr. Simpson. Bye! What if I You are a fuck. You are a big fuck. I used to make it interesting. Who knows? They can go either way. That's kind of the thing. It's what I'm waiting for the live letter for. I want to see if they make the game fun again. And if they do, then I'm happy. But I'm also, like, slightly worried that their big, like, shakeup that they want to do to the game is, like, them talking about reworking reward structure. And, like, yeah, reworking that would be kind of big. But at the same time, I don't think that's enough to make people not want to die and pull their teeth out whenever they're playing content as any of the current classes. Like maybe, just maybe, we need to have jobs that do things. And if Dark Knight can't beat a boss by 2% in a Savage tier, maybe just nerf the boss's health by like 2% and then call it that. Don't like make the jobs all adhere to this weird meta where they all have to do the same thing all the time. I'll kill you with a rock. I will fucking flay you. I will cleanse your skin from your bones. Don't test me. Synced ARR dungeons might below. Can we talk about the fact that Reaper doesn't exist pre-80? How has nobody thought about this as being a problem? Reaper is not a job pre-80. It is 2 buttons, and it sucks. I have to get a drink because I'm yelling, because I'm passionate. I play Reaper, and it does, and I'm a new player. I love Reaper. I love Reaper, too! Reaper was, like, one of the cool jobs that I picked up in Endwalker, because I was like, holy shit, a guy with a scythe will scythe me up! And then I played Reaper, and I was like, this is actually very enjoyable. I am having a fun time as Reaper. And then whenever you don't have Enshroud, you might as well just go outside and start dropping bricks on your toes for fun. That's about how it feels to play Reaper without Enshroud. It's just like, yep. And you want to know the bad part? You want to know the bad part? Bad part is the fact that most of the content in the game is not level 80 plus. A lot of it is not, well, pre-level 80. And so, you're gonna be not enshrouding an awful the fuck lot. I don't know how, but I forgot the new Dual Blade job names. That job doesn't feel saucy at all pre-50. Viper. Viper is also just Reaper and Gunbreaker that they just kind of like mash together. And we just kind of have to deal with that. It's like the fucking... It is the Liger of 14 currently. How do you feel about the American job? Which job is the American job? You want the game. You want to like the game, but they're making it really hard. I've always wanted to like 14. I used to like 14. It was fun. Whenever there was like stuff to do. And then they just took away all like the fucking like the bad parts of it. They took away all the edge. And now it's just smooth gameplay. Now I can finally go into a dungeon, watch the same song and dance happen for the 8 billionth fucking time, and then think, wow, I'm video gaming right now. Or I could go do the main scenario with my friends, except I can't, because the only way to do main scenario in this game is to just, like, sync up the cutscenes and then read the cutscene at the same time as everybody else, because for some reason, the MMO part of this game is, like, basically fucking optional, because your friends might as well not exist. I've tried to get people into this game that, like, play other MMOs, and, like, at level 20, like, from levels, like, 1 to 20, they're like, so when do we play together? And I'm like, I'm gonna be real with you. The most I can do is just kind of stand around while you read the cutscenes, and then I can, like, ferry you to different points of the map. I can't fight. I can't be in a party with you either, otherwise you don't get XP from overworld mobs. And they're like, I think I'm gonna go play PSO again. And I'm like, you know what? That's fair. Because it gets very hard to sell people on an MMO whenever I have to keep telling them, you just have to, like, play 50 levels of the game, and then we have a lot of content we can actually do with each other. Go play Dragon Quest X. I just wish they'd actually port Dragon Quest X, because Dragon Quest X understands how to make games fun, which is, add randomness into it. Fuck it. Make a job random. Make a job entirely proc-based. Thirsty. What do you think of Guild Wars 2? Pretty good. I haven't played much of it, but from what I hear of it, pretty good. Make a job where you can have a pet. Oh, do you mean Beastmaster, the limited time job that is now coming out and can only level up to level 50? For some reason, it can only go to 50! Why can it only go to 50? The limited jobs make me, like, mad. Like, on an instinctual level. Because, like, I look at it, and I'm like, okay, so you all do know how to make really fun and cool classes. But we have to keep making dog shit ones because of balance. And it's like, you all also have, like, you have ideas for how to make the overworld not just, let's all get together and do, like, hunt trains or just grind fates. And it's like, you all know how to do this. You're showing me that you know how to do this. Why can't you just do this? Wait, huh? I'll only go up to 50 because the most of the leveling will be their monster capture. I mean, like, but the thing is like 50. Because it's 50, that locks it out of, like, a good chunk of content in the game. That maybe you want to go do with, like, Beastmaster. So, like, potentially anything in Heaven's Word, anything in, like, Shadowbringers, anything in Stormblood, anything in Endwalker. Nah, can't do it. You're below level. And you still need Dawn Trail for it! Hey, Jimmy, give me a limited job. One limited job coming up. And hold the level 60. Hold the 60. Yeah, and make it require the new expansion. The new expansion? Yeah, and make sure it can't get any enemies post fucking ARR. Hey, Tony! Give me a limited job with nothing on it. Nothing? They do the same with blue, though. With blue, it was, like, excusable to an extent because it was their first limited job. Like, that's understandable. But now, they're introducing a new limited job, and they're not even letting it access Heavensward content. Heavensward content is, at this point in time, like, 8+ years old? Or, like, 7+ years old? Like... what do we really gain from locking blue, like, from locking Beastmaster out of this? Do we gain anything? Is this better for anybody? Dark Knight did more damage during Pandemonium, but now all the 10 classes are warrior. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if Dark Knight does a little bit more damage, who cares? If the issue is that, like, you need Dark Knight to clear the fight, just nerf the fight's HP by, like, 5% or something. Don't make it so that way, don't make me like, oh, well, I mean, because it does more damage, we should be, nerfing and, like, adjusting the classes. No, you're taking the wrong thing away. I hate FanFin. Every profession and elite profession can do everything. It's kind of why I like WoW, because, like, WoW is just kind of unbalanced, and I'm okay with that. Some things can suck. That's fine. It makes the people that really stick with the thing that kind of sucks the real ones. They'll take their, like, dog shit class into, like, anything and make it work. Sometimes. It might be through intense sweat, tears, and effort, but they'll make it work. How you doing in WoW, by the way? Me and Ursula are gonna play it. Okay, what about here? I've been here. Retail or classic? Retail. It was here that I needed to go to. I hate you, Gordo. They make a good story, but they can't make a funny game because 16 is also, here's the same 4-hit combo and some shit's on the button and some things happen that make the gameplay be over sooner. I mean, I'm gonna be real. 16 was kind of like a snore fest. Once you got past the hype moments in Aura. Because all of 16 is just like... it's just that, yeah. It's the same, like, set, like, 2-button combo. And then you use, like, Mega Bahamut, like the Mega Flare, and then that's it. I still remember getting Zontet's Ken. I remember getting Odin and thinking, like, to myself, oh, thank God, I don't have to do trash fights anymore. Holy shit, why is it, like, lagging so much? Help me, my compatriots. I don't know, like, I sit around and I think about, like, okay, how could you make, like, Blue Mage or Beastmaster interesting and also have, like, more content to do? Make a roguelike deep dungeon mode. where, like, instead of leveling up your Aether Pool arms from silver chests, Blue Mage can go in, and Blue Mage gets, like, random spells from the silver chest. And this encourages the Blue Mage, and give them, like, a separate leaderboard. That way people aren't like, oh, my Palace of the Dead scores! Then, this way, Blue Mage can access deep dungeons, they can have fun on their own, and they get a random pseudo-roguelike mode that provides them content and stuff to do. It shouldn't be that hard, and it's like, cool, whatever, have fun. Thank you, Kirby. Clibby, Kibi. It was one of them. Like, it's fun, you know, 14 can't tolerate that. My bad. I just thought that maybe, you know, by making, like, a pseudo-roguelike mode, it just kind of, it lets you, like, you know, play Blue Mage. And then maybe it's like, you know, every spell or ability has, like, 3 stages to it. So you can, like, get a duplicate of, like, the fucking fish spit spell. And it starts off at, like, 80 potency, and then it goes up by, like, 40. Then it goes up by 40, and then it has, like, an added effect of, like, I don't know, your next fucking lightning cast, or, like, lightning aspected cast of element does, like, an extra 50% damage. And then this way, you can be like, ah, so I need to be on the lookout for a lightning spell within the fucking silver chest. And then you can have, like, a build going. And maybe your entire build is setting, like, getting people wet and then shocking them. And then it's like, cool. Now you have, like, a weird pseudo build going. And this encourages replayability as well. Done. Easy. You see Hades 2 got like another massive update. I did. I mean, I already beat that game, so like, who cares? Put Dragon's Dogma in your favorite combat slot. Can you explain? I put Dragon's Dogma Online in my favorite combat slot. Because it is. Here's somebody right here. Maybe if they fucking move. This person, this is an hour-long, like, live stream recap. Fuck, we did various battles montage. Thank you, Fluffy Quack. This is Dragon's Dogma Online. This is an MMO, by the way. Every single button press they're doing is, like, correlating to an actual action. You can climb onto enemies. You can fucking, like hit weak points. You can do a bunch of cool shit. This person is currently, like, you know, beating the shit out of this, like, ogre. You have a control over your character. If you don't want to get hit by a move, get out of the way. It's got a perfect parry system with shields, where if you hit the block button at the perfect time, you take no damage, and it also doesn't consume your stamina. And it can also stagger the monster because you did a perfect parry. There's, like, class interaction, because sometimes the mages need to use, like, elemental buffs. So these things are zombies. They're undead. They're weak to fire. And see, look, now they've got a fire enchantment, and they're doing more damage and knocking the zombies around more. This is because the game is cool. And this is just fighter. Fighter is like a frontline attacker, but also kind of like a DPS. Lag seems like it makes that sort of system very unforgiving. You would think, but they solved this issue by basically making it to where whenever you go out of the main city, you go into your own instance, basically, and your instance with yourself and the people from your party. So, if you're not in a main city, it's just you. Which means that for the most part, you don't have to worry about, like, lag, because it's just kind of like, you know, your own thing. It's you. Where's the tower to reveal the map? You think this is Ubisoft? You have to walk around and find that shit on your own. This is Archer. Now, again, another fighter thing. attack the Saurian's tail, and whenever you cut the tail off, then it takes more damage and can be staggered. And they're weak to ice. So enchant your weapon with ice. If you knock them into the river, the brine eats them. This is dynamic combat. This isn't Monster Hunter, though. Right, because if I wanted to show you fun Monster Hunter combat, I would show you anything pre-world. Anyway. Hi. I'm feeling spicy today. I'm feeling combative. I'm swinging at everything. Show me a hornet's nest, I'll swing for it. You didn't like Rise? Rise was like almost there, I'm gonna be real. But the issue mainly just stemmed from the fact that the wire bugs was like way too good. And the wire bug recovery after like getting hit or like missing an attack was also, again, way too good. There's so many reasons why it's better than 14. I forgot, yeah. I forgot you were here, V. But yeah, V is the resident Guild Wars player. What's your Limbus hot take? Gonna be real. The game's main story is like the only real drive for it. I think that XP Luxcavations take forever to do and are really boring. I think the Heisho season of like Honglu's Kanto sucked ass. The gameplay in the main story, once you have a decently leveled team with like a keyword slot, it is largely just hit win rate until a boss. Slot fights basically don't need to exist. They kind of just serve as like something to do. Rune is the better system. Like by far. Kind of it. Look, I'm talking about Garden Warfare 2. We need a new game mode. Yeah. Limbus and XIV visual novels with a bit of gameplay slapped on the side. They are. I think Limbus gets a bit more leeway, though, because, like, A, it's got the mobile game stigmata attached to it, and then B, the gameplay, you can just kind of sit back and watch things happen, and it's got good sound effects. The sound effects and, like, the punchiness of the animations are nice. Which is why it makes me big happy. I pulled new Radia. Congratulations. I'll be getting Radia this Wednesday. Where do I go? There are 3 teams to kill highest power boss with certain turns, which is like cool. I'm okay with that. Ow. Limbus leans into the visual novel part, so it gets a pass. 14 Prince is not a visual novel. It really does. Look, okay, all I'm saying is fucking SWOTOR. SWOTOR. Star Wars The Old Republic. Fucking SWOTOR. Understood how to make, like, playing the MMO part matter, because they have, like, that BioWare dialogue wheel. And then, like, if you're doing a dungeon or, like, a cutscene, and it's not, like, your class or, like, specific cutscene, then other characters can, like, weigh in if they're in your party. And if they win the dice roll, then their dialogue option gets picked. And then they're also just in the background of, like, every cutscene, which at least gives them some kind of, like, weight to them being there. And also the MMO part of, like, the MMO. And then there's also the fact that the other Square Enix run MMO, Dragon Quest X, did this thing too and fixed it, where if they're like, if the person's doing like a main story boss and like you've done it, like you're in their party, then uh-oh, guess what? You show up in the cutscene and get ready to square up with the boss. Shocking! You're telling me that you could, like, show up? It's so easy to do this. It's so easy to do this. If 14 had a thing, right, where, like, someone's about to watch a cutscene, and it just had, like, a fucking pop-up or something, being like, the party leader is about to initiate a cutscene. Would you like to join? And then there's, like, a little waiting period. And if you click yes, then you just watch the cutscene with them, and they just, like, slap you into the back. That's it. That's all you need to do. And then now, congratulations. The party members in a Final Fantasy game, the Final Fantasy, the party game, the party-based game, now has party members in it. And it feels more like an adventure with your friends. More so than just, you are Johnny Warrior of Light, and here's the friends we've prepared for you. I don't hate the Scions. Okay, well, that's kind of a lie. Currently, I'm not a big fan of the Scions. But that's mainly due to the fact that I think they need to go away. It's a Mario party. Mario's my friend. Retirement home. Retirement home. Jail. We can keep Graha, right? But my adventure with Graha. Graha Tia had, like, one line in the entirety of Dawn Trail that made him feel like Graha Tia. And that was him on the gondola with you in living memory. Other than that, they could have just had a cardboard cutout of Graha Tia there the entire expansion, and nothing would have changed. Y'shtola says, like, 3 things during Dawn Trail, and that's it. I'm fucking exaggerating, of course. But I'm pretty sure Y'shtola has, like, 2 paragraphs of lines, if that, and then that's it. She hardly talks during Dawn Trail. Why is she here? The twins basically didn't exist. Alphino just was like, I'm smart about magic. This is about magic. Magic is a thing that happens in the universe. Okay, goodbye. And then Alice was like, Lama T would know what to do here. I'm Alice. And then that's it. That's all she did. Like, we could have just not had them go there. We could have just had, like, Aaronville and Kryl and Wook Lamont and, like, Kona. And then that's it. That's our new adventuring party for this expansion. The other Scions can be busy, like, doing shit. How do you feel about Wook Lamont? I think Wook Lamont got introduced way too late in patch cycles for many players to form an actual, like, stake in her claims for what she wanted to go do in Dawn Trail. And then that really hurt Dawn Trail as a whole expansion, because she was introduced in, like, the 6.55 patches, or, like, somewhere around there. And then because of that, you know, you don't really get a lot of time to connect with this character that they're kind of banking the entire expansion on, which I think really hurt the expansion and what people were expecting out of it. But then again, they also kind of shot themselves in the foot by being like, the Scions will be at odds. No, they won't. Urion J and Thancred will block your path once in a dungeon, and that's it. Oh, and then what's this Solution 9 thing? Why'd you show me this? Now the entire expansion is going to be asking myself, where's Solution 9? It's a very weird thing. Everything about Dawn Trail felt weirdly poorly planned, to say the least. It kind of felt like they were really floundering post-Endwalker to kind of know what to do. And the whole, like, it's the Warrior of Light's summer vacation. Not really, either. We're kind of just standing in the background of a lot of cutscenes doing nothing. If you wanted it to be a summer vacation, that's fine. At least have, like, some quests where, like, we do fuck all, and, like, just for the fun of it. And really kind of sell the summer vacation aspect. Maybe we have to, like, go solve a Scooby-Doo haunted, like, mansion thing. And it turns out it's just someone in, like, fucking Tuliolol being like, I wanted to get the prime real estate here, so I was faking ghosts and void scent showing up. And I would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for this fucking what were they called? The charges? The promises? If it wasn't for you meddling promise and your warrior of light. And then bam, there, low stakes adventure that's easy to like digest, and it has no real stakes, but it's fun. It's a fun thing. Seeing the different takes from people. I speak as someone that's been playing this game since A Realm Reborn, and generally I've been pretty okay with many of the patches. Like, I can't really think of a time where I was like, on 14 until I got to, like, post-Endwalker. And then I was like, because for some reason, they decided to devote every single Endwalker patch to just retelling the story of Final Fantasy IV. But this time, Zero is the stand-in for Cecil, and they're not brothers. They're not siblings. That's kind of just it. Other than that, yeah, hi, welcome back to Final Fantasy IV. Have you ever played Final Fantasy IV? Here's Final Fantasy IV, by the way. And if you have played Final Fantasy IV, the entire time you're like, I know where this entire story is going. Why are we doing this? And half as long, and the Alexander extra twice as long because I found that much more interesting. I think the issue is just that they didn't bother trying to make Wooklamot's like arc that interesting. They kind of just were like, whatever, it gets the point across. I mean, it does, but at the same time, it just kind of feels like Wooklamot does everything, and that's why I don't understand why like, the mentor role thing gets brought up a lot whenever we talk about Dawn Trail criticisms, because it doesn't really feel like you're a mentor at all during Dawn Trail. You kind of just stand in the back, and Wooklamot kind of pieces together everything on her own, so like, I don't really know what mentoring I did, other than just sometimes being like, hey, don't go into like the death pit. And then there's like the entire Bakul Jaja stuff, which is like, cool. I guess I feel bad because his like family did like eugenics, but at the same time, they couldn't figure out how to grow corn. And they never asked about corn. They kind of were just like, we need to kill everybody because we can't grow any food here. And then someone came along and was like, what if you tried corn? And they're like, fuck! What if we tried corn? And then it worked. And then that's it. That's the entire plot line. Anyway, Bakul Jaja, eugenics, right? That's pretty bad. I mean, I could once again be paraphrasing a lot, but I distinctively remember someone showing up to the lizard village that kept trying to, like, you know, overthrow Tuliolol, and they were like, have you tried growing corn here? You keep trying to grow things that aren't corn, and the soil doesn't work if it's not corn. And then they're like, we haven't! And then they grew corn, and that's it. It worked. That's it. Corn. Solution to eugenics? You try corn. It's corn. It was only weird, dark aspected corn that would work. I mean, yeah. This also coupled with the fact that a lot of my grievances with this came from mainly the fact of, like, I have to get on a mount, go to a quest objective, dismount my mount. The quest objective is talk to this person. The person says, I cannot see where we need to go from here. Let's continue. Get back on your mount. Go find another quest objective. You talk to the quest objective person. We're almost there. Get back on your mount. Go to the quest objective. Okay, now you're done. Why was this a quest? Why did you make me do this? Just a pacing issue. It's just like, why have it though? Like, you could have just not had it. You could have just had me go to the, like, directly to the quest objective. This could have been an email-ass quest. It's Pokemon NPC problems. Yes. Holy fuck, I really did waste a lot of my time. Milky's going Kerbo. Boyo. A bit over some, but yeah, they did pretty much throw away their fucked up ways, and because someone was like, here's some agriculture, and they just went, thanks, all of our history and bigotry have instantly dissolved with no resistance in the wake of corn. Like, I could have sworn that's what happened in my brain, but also, like, I forgot, like, basically everything of Dawn Trail already. I know, like, the wide swaths of it, but that's about it. I'm gonna be real, I also like don't care about the patches. I know people say the patches are good, but I'm so thoroughly tuned out of Dawn Trail at this point. I'm just gonna like skip a lot of the fucking cutscenes just to get to 8.0. Bakul Jaja's redemption is so messy. The weird thing is, right, is that Bakul Jaja basically unleashes, like, super demon. Like, mythologically spoken of super demon to try and stop Wook Lamott's ascension to the throne. And we fight it, and that's just kind of like a, okay, we did it. Let's forget about it. And it's like, what? What? That's it? Oh, but you have to keep in mind that his entire tribe would throw babies into a hole. Okay? Like, that sucks, but he still did all this. I think the main problem with the Bakul Jaja, Big Cool Yaya, is the fact that, like, usually with most villains that turn into heroes, right? There's some kind of thing that challenges their villainous ways, and then they're like, fuck. Shit. Maybe the heroes do have a point. And it's like, it's usually like a big crisis of self for them, and then that's what causes them to switch sides, because they're like, I mean, my ideology was flawed, and what I'm doing isn't right. And it feels like Bakul Jaja never had that. He kind of just kept losing a bunch and was like, oh, well, I mean, maybe you are better. And then, like, we just kind of, you know, then he got, like, moved on, and that was it. We didn't really, like, I don't remember challenging Bakul Jaja's, like, ideals ever, because I don't think he had ideals other than just, I want to be the big dog so that way my tribe can stop dying. Cool Jaws like the Vegeta of 14. I mean, even Vegeta had his ideals challenged, because Vegeta believed that the only way you could achieve, like, Super Saiyan was by being, like, really angry and also of, like, pure, like, royal Saiyan blood. So seeing that Goku kept surpassing him at every single given opportunity, this means that that ideal was challenged. And Vegeta had to agree that Goku was stronger, which was a very big plot point for Vegeta, and one that he struggled with over a very long course of time. And this eventually turned into Vegeta joining the heroes, mainly to like constantly have a training partner with Goku and learn how Goku got so strong, but also just to kind of be like, you know, Kakarot kind of has a point. Burpee. You see Xenoverse 3 got announced. I did. I'm very excited about this. I can't believe they finally killed Xenoverse 2. I never thought they would. There's something going around that the localization team majorly changed Wook's post story, her owning up to her mistakes, and I'm not certain about this because I haven't looked into it. Yeah, I'll leave it. His dad was the one teaching him all the superiority shit and telling him to win by any means necessary, because otherwise he's a worthless waste of life and effort. See, I entirely glossed over that. That just, like, didn't exist in my brain for some reason. Unfortunately, the old guy in the village, you must be in the lizard revenge. He's acting on manipulation, desperation, but the weight of all that kind of falls apart when the village is like, I won't do eugenics because... That won't be if you give me seeds. I think the entire lizard storyline was just bad. Because again, Bakul Jaja's entire thing was just, I won't be evil anymore. And we're all like, okay, that's great. And he's like, but remember? Road tripping over a banana. Sorry, that was rude. The buffoon slips upon the peel of a fruit! Of a plantain! I am lulling. I love that Adventure Quest Worlds has more class interactivity and gameplay than Final Fantasy XIV. I could write an entire college dissertation thesis on how, like, fucked up and evil 14 is as, like, a game. Because, like, 14 as a game is very bare bones. Like, we used to have class interactivity. There was even, like, minor amounts of class... Why do you play it? I don't. I bought Dawn Trail, and I played it, and I was like, that's okay, and then I stopped playing the game. I've not been subbed to that game for, like, a fucking while. Do it. Video essay art. The thing about it, though, is, like... Stormblood. Stormblood had class interactivity. Granted, not a lot, not as much as like Heavensward did, but it had class interactivity. Mana mattered for mages, for instance. So if your team sucked ass and the mages had to constantly, the healers had to constantly res people, then they were going to be running out of mana. This brought in class interactivity because magic DPSs had an ability to let them transfer their mana to anybody else that could use mana, which meant that, like, magic DPS and healers had an interactive thing within the party. This way, that, like, if you started running out of mana, well, now, like, a magic DPS can help supplement you. It's minor, but it's some form of interactivity within the party. Now, nobody interacts within the party. Literally, nobody does. You want to know how you interact in the party? Count to 2 minutes. Once you're at 2 minutes, everybody hits their buffs. Once everybody hits their party-wide buffs, everybody does damage. Once the damage is over, back to doing your own separate thing for 2 minutes while you build up your gauge. We used to be a society. Warriors Berserk used to inflict Pacify on them, which means that, like, healers had to watch, and then they had to be like, hey, healers, could you please Esuna me? Which was, at the very least, something. Astrology used to be entirely random. And it used to be like, okay, here you go. You can have this. Dark Knight was just cool. Heavensward Dark Knight was just sick as fuck. I was bad at it, but that didn't mean I wanted it changed. It was just sick as fuck. I respect people like they could fucking stance dance back then. You're doing shit where you're like constantly managing your NP to keep Dark Sight up all the time, while also like throwing in grit every so often. I respect the fuck out of you. The card one should be Belatra. The card one should be Belatra. Hymus Machinist Gun Mage from Heavensward. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I didn't like Bow or Gun Mage, but also at the same time, I didn't play those classes, so like what the fuck does that matter to me? Summoner's too hard. I don't get it. I have this wonderful thing for you. It's called Black Mage. Go play something else. You're literally playing the game where you can go be anything at any time. You don't have to play the complex summoner job if you don't want to. You can just go play a different one. It's okay. Gun Mage with Wildfire was so fun to me. I respect it. I can't really speak on Calyx, Calrex Ice, Scourge of the metagame. But I can't really speak on Calyx because I have not paid attention whatsoever to the Dawn Trail patches. I know that he's some kind of stupid fucking like boy that's like, I am a scientist, I am the I'm so fucking smart. I'm so fucking smart. You're the warrior of light, and I'm so fucking smart. We should kill people. He's also a Labubu. I believe this. But if I can be anything, I need to be everything. This is wrong! This is what got every fucking job changed! And it's like, why? Summoner was a job for freaks. Summoner was like a legit job for fucking freaks. If you played Summoner, you were a freak. I didn't play Summoner because it was a freak job. But for the people that played Summoner, they fucking loved Summoner. But now, Summoner is just the, eat your Legos. Eat your Legos in order. And now there's nothing like the old summoner, so they can't go to anywhere else. It's just eat crayons now. He does actually try to kill you immediately upon getting the opportunity, and I respect that, to be fair. I mean, yeah. That is something, I guess. I don't know. I'm in the minority. I think Xenos was fucking cool. Because did he suck? Sure. Was he annoying? Probably. But he was our villain. He was someone that wanted to kill us, and that was unique. Everyone else kind of, like, doesn't like us just by virtue of us being who we are, and therefore being, like, related to us stopping their goals. Xenos just wanted to kill us. Xenos just really wanted to fight us. Like, us specifically. Emmett Selk was, like, he didn't like us because we were, like, a reflection of, like, his past and, like, the people that he loved. But we were mainly just an obstacle standing in the way of his goals. To Xenos, we were the goal. And that was cool. I liked that. I didn't get the Xenos hype. It's mainly because of the fact that he was a villain that was actively working toward fighting you, and you were the goal. Which was cool. In most other expansion storylines, we are not the goal. We are just an obstacle in the way of the goal. Happy some did. Just fair. I just liked him because he was like an actual villain that like did stuff for us as a character. He overstayed his welcome so bad after Stormblood. I mean, the thing is that they were trying to set him up as like a expansion long villain. I think fell through because obviously that didn't happen. I mean, it did happen. It's just that it was poorly communicated, I feel. But then again, everything about Dawn Trail was not Dawn Trail. Endwalker was kind of like rushed as fuck. So like, I get it. Anyway, check out these ads. Because a lot of Endwalker felt like it should have been 2 patches, or 2 expansions. Not patches. Like, Expansion 1 is everything pre-Final Days. Expansion 2 is everything Final Days. And Walker felt like a lot of member berries and mess storytelling, and the end singer was such a goddamn asspull. Hopefully Dawn Trail is just setting up for the next expansion. I mean, it was. Dawn Trail's entire thing was that it was supposed to be an ARR for the next part of the story. Which, I mean, it kind of is. It did set up a lot of things that, like, now 8.0 can follow up on. But also, at the same time, I don't have any confidence in 8.0. Because they're putting, like, the Red 13 minion out, and that makes me think they're going to do, like, a Final Fantasy VII thing. And I don't trust them if they pull Final Fantasy VII. To me, Final Fantasy VII is, like, the jump the shark moment for 14. That's, like, the one thing that you're like, If they put Sephiroth in the game, it's over. Means we're heading to the Heavensward next. We should be? But I mean, until, like, the story is entirely dead in the water for me at this point. I need to see, like, video game things happen. I need to see, like, my Beep Boop characters moving or doing stuff in a way that interests me. I need there to be friction. It's like I always say, in a lot of posts, and also how I yell a lot on this platform, and also any platform that I can yell on. I like it when games suck. Because when games kind of suck, they're fun. And the thing about 14 is that they're very adamant on, like, removing things that suck. They're very adamant about making it, like, nice and smooth and very easy to play, which I think sucks because it makes it boring. What are your thoughts of the trailer Kefka voice? Kefka voice. Where is it? Trailer. Blah, 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 blah. Where is... Shut up, Kirby.
Did you think you'd won? Yes.
Thank God they got the Dissidia voice actor. Oh, thank God it's the Dissidia one. Holy shit, thank God. Oh, thank God. Look, I'm gonna be real. I don't know the voice actor's name. I don't. But, like, you're not gonna get more perfect Kefka than whoever did it in Dissidia. That is, like, the perfect Kefka. Every voice in Dissidia is like, yeah, these just fit. Like, yeah, this just works. So she should be done catching up with Vol. Catching up with Vol and Tomodachi Life, not much to add to it. I mean, it's up to her. I'm happy she played the game at all. I shan't ask for more, lest I be greedy. In fact, they have to come out of the 11th hour to claim their prize. It feels so overplayed, whereas last villain who's a player still had the presence seemed to play. Oh, we can hope we're at this rate. That Cal actually stayed around 8.0. Because if not, then there's not much will change at this opinion for me. Anyway, I saw you all talking about it, but yes. I think that they've smoothed down 14 a bit too much. Even though, like, they really didn't need to. I don't know why they're so adamant about removing, like, buttons. I get it. Sometimes buttons, there's just too many of them. Having, like, 4 hotbars by now would be a bit much. But at the same time, you're removing a lot of buttons that add in, like, class rigidity and also, like, things that involve, like, you know, skill expression within a class. Like Kaiten. There's multiple different, like, Kaiten is one of the things where it's like, oh, they removed Kaiten. What the fuck? Bring back Kaiten. The thing about Kaiten is that there were multiple ways to use it, which is, like, why a lot of people lament it being gone. Like, to explain why Kaiten being gone was a big detriment to samurai players, was that you could use it in a variety of different ways under a variety of different circumstances. And how you chose to use it was up to you, which was nice. It wasn't just like, okay, use this after a combo. There are better at giving jobs to not giving players 20 buttons, Milky. There are, but no one likes it whenever I say the words cleric stance or tank stance, or, like, you know, dark side. Dark side drains MP. No one likes it whenever I say the word cleric stance. Because you see, back in my day, back in the good old days, the Heaven's Ward. Not really good old days. Heaven's Ward was like a mess all around, but it was fun. But back then, Dark Knight's dark side drained MP, but also every tank stance gave you a damage nerf. But the dark side buff from Dark Knight, while it did drain your MP, also gave you enough of a damage boost to negate the drop in damage from tank stance. Meaning if you have both on, you don't regen MP anymore, but now you also deal like neutral damage. But this also meant that if you weren't main tanking and could just activate Dark Side, well, now Dark Side constantly drains your MP at a consistent rate, and it's up to you to manage your MP enough to activate Dark Arts and get things going and keep your combos up and deal big damage, while also keeping your MP up to continue to have this damage buff, which was cool. It's what set Dark Knights, like good Dark Knights, apart from like okay Dark Knights. Like, you weren't required to do this really unless you were like Savage rating, but like we've seen the numbers, and like we still see the numbers. Many people, you're going in a loop. I love looping. I'm in a fucking time. I played the Lobotomy Corporation. All right, I know all about looping. But like, we've seen the numbers. So many fucking people in this game don't touch any form of like hardcore content whatsoever. Like 90% or something don't even fucking like attempt an extreme, and like even less go to Savage, and even less than that go to Ultimate. At this point, you could probably make a job specifically limited for just doing Ultimates, and like less things would change. Because of how little people actually do this content. Guilty as charged. Like, that's fine. You're part of the majority. A good chunk of people log on to 14, do the main scenario, do their like daily dungeons, get some gear, maybe do a normal raid or an alliance raid. And then that's it. That's the game for them. Which is fine. The player boss is spoiled and needs their shit kicked in. They can lock it. Kind of. I just think the thing is that they keep trying to like appeal to the hardcore raider crowd with a lot of these like balance changes and making sure that every job is the same. So that way, like, because every job is the same, now every job can be taken into every form of high-end content, which I think is wrong. Because, like, if every job is the same at doing, like, high-end content, what's the fucking point? You're also, like, you're also doing balance changes for, like, roughly 10% of the player base, if that. Whereas, like, the other good majority of the player base is not doing this content whatsoever. It's kind of like what, you know, what made Overwatch initially stupidly unfun was that they kept balancing the game around, like, the competitive scene whenever a good majority of players weren't in the competitive scene. So a lot of changes were just like, this sucks. That's why I need to get one character level 100 to build my own shit and repair. Plus, I need to find a group for it. And that's also a problem. Because, like, for most of the times with Savages and shit, like, Savages and Extremes, if you don't do it within, like, the first month or so, you're just dead in the water. You're gone. Because, like, if you wait too long... Why'd I go here? If you wait too long to do it, then you lose out on, like, every single party finder party, and then everything's a clear party. And then by that point, you can't get, like, a clear party, or, like, you know, like, oh, we're going to, you know, well, hey, everything's a farm party, not a clear party. So then, if you haven't gotten a clear, then they're like, who's the fucking newbie? And then, like, they kick you. And then your only option left is to go and play with, like, the people that have, like, that are late to the expansion. And I'm gonna be real. A lot of them aren't that good. So you're probably not going to clear then. And at that point, it's like, well, fuck. You either have to, like, A, find a group and, like, know people that can, like, go into this content with you, or you just kind of, like, you know, sit on your ass and spin while you wait for the next expansion to come out so you can unsync it. All content that requires skill you have to seek out. And that's kind of like the point. That's kind of the bad part. So much of the content in 14 does not require you to pay attention, and so a lot of people don't, and that enforces bad habits, which means a lot of people that play the game are bad. I've told this story like 80 quintillion times, but I still remember it because it's like that's burned in my memory forever. Doing like I was trying to do Shinryu Extreme back whenever like fucking Stormblood was current, and I was like, okay, I want to do Shinryu Extreme. I'll join a party finder for it. I joined the party finder. I watch a ninja constantly fucking die because all they had to do was turn around and see and like look with their eyes where an icicle was coming from. If the icicle was like going to hit them because they were standing in its way, they had to move. There was not an orange line on the floor, but like you had to look, and then the orange line would show up like half a second. The ninja died to this mechanic every single time. They got hit by it every single time. Like attack 4. Yes, attack 4. They got hit by it every time. And because they got hit by it, they had a damage down because they would die immediately from getting launched off the arena. Which means, uh-oh fucking spaghetti-o, now we can't clear the damage check that happens immediately after this phase. Something like 14 is not great of a game. It's not. It's got a good story, and usually the story is what carries it hardcore. Like, gotta be real, the problems with the game have existed since about Endwalker. It's just that now, Dawn Trail wasn't exactly a smash hit for a lot of people. And usually, a good story in 14 can overshadow a lot of the shit gameplay. But whenever the story is and the gameplay is still just as bad, it creates this like Molotov cocktail of, why am I playing this game? And for a lot of people, that's why Dawn Trail was kind of like a really big bruise point for them. Because the thing about players, like with any video game, a lot of players that play a video game, they know whenever a game isn't fun. Your player base will tell you a game is not fun. You should never listen to them about changes, balance, whatever. You should never listen to them about that. They know jack fuck all. I know jack fuck all. But a lot of people know whenever a game isn't fun. And that's whenever you have to look at it and be like, okay, why is it not fun? Starting Shadowbringers, not Endwalker. Oh, you're right. It's just that Shadowbringers had a very good story. So a lot of people are like, whatever. To like the gameplay aspects of 14 back then. Because the story was just really good for a lot of people. Like, Shadowbringers hit a lot of good notes for people. So they were able to overlook the really, like, gameplay decisions that have been just kind of here ever since then. Because, yeah, the 2-minute meta thing really started back in Shadowbringers. And, like, that's whenever they started kind of, like, hammering a bunch of classes into this mold of it needs to, like, have buffs that align on 2-minute, like, intervals. So that way every class can do everything. I can't get through that. Balance does not equal fun. I would go as far as to say balance is usually antithetical of fun. People call me crazy when I say the gameplay isn't that good. I believe you. Won't you? Why isn't Fighter Kirby in Smash? Because like that's what Smash Kirby is. Duh. It also is heavily subjective. Many people that, like, you know, play video games... I also think, okay, different topic, kind of. Still the same topic, different thing. I think a lot of the time with 14, your mileage out of the game gets very varied depending on what kind of person you are. Like, duh, obviously. But what I'm talking about is, like, if you're the kind of person that sees your 14 character as, like, an OC and like you write lore for them, you think about like what like the story is like for them, like they are a character and not like your avatar or like just a fucking video game character to you, then your mileage out of 14 will get a lot like heavier and a lot like more than if you just play the game like a game. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, to me, for instance, 14, my character could be called, like, Dix Bigley. And his entire thing could just be, like, whatever. I wouldn't care. Like, I don't think about anything in the game. To me, the game is whatever the game tells me. If the game tells me that my current thing is just that I'm really into blue frogs, I'm like, fuck, dude. I love blue frogs. Whatever. That's just what the game has told me. That's what I have to go with. Like Shen and Vol. I think Shen and Vol get a lot of mileage out of 14, but I also think that I do think they both legitimately very much enjoy the game. I think it connects with them on a very personal level, which is good. That's what a game should be. But I also think that, yes, they play the game a lot differently than like maybe some people do in like different circles, where like you just play the game because, you know, it's a video game. Your character probably couldn't matter to you. You just go along with whatever the game tells you. And I think that, like, the game itself gets a lot more mileage out of it if you think of it, like, if you think of the character in it as their own character. Because you're like, okay, well, how would they react to, like, this situation? How do they react to this information? Like, oh, this gets my idea, like, my idea brain going. Oh, I can, like, write about this. How would my character interact with these NPCs? Things of this nature. Why are you getting bodied by this weird dog? Because I love running into enemies with my big head. Everyone's different things from it. The devs getting looping feedback of what everyone's mad about. I don't do X, and it just ends up making the game not fun for everyone. Which is true. But I do think there needs to be certain things about the game that just kind of suck. Like, have a job that's just hard. If people complain about it, then I think they need to just kind of stick to their guns and be like, just don't play it. Like, if people thought Black Mage was too hard, just don't play it. Are the Black Mage players complaining about it? Then maybe, like, look into it. Are people that don't play Black Mage complaining about it? Who cares? They don't play it. Because I've maimed Warrior, and it became mind-numbingly dull. That's why I don't enjoy writing more about my Warrior of Light. It's merely a canvas for me to put pretty clothes on. See, I agree with that. My Warrior of Light, like, I wouldn't even call him, like, my Warrior of Light. That's just me. Like, if people ask me, like, oh, what's your, like, Warrior of Light's, like, lore? I don't fucking know. It's whatever the game tells me. My Warrior of Light is just me. That, like, I'm like, oh, what's your Warrior of Light lore? That's me. That's just me. Why is the point of having that much jobs in 14 if it's all the same? It didn't used to be. That was a very big selling point. Because, like, everything was, like, very legitimately different. Like, the weird pet nonsense bullshit of, like, early Summoner was, like, weird and strange. And you only really got that with Scholar. They were a combo deal anyway. But, like, it was unique. Sure. Did it suck? Kinda. But then again, people love that shit. And I'm not those people. So whatever. I like playing Dragoon. Dragoon was fun. You know I hate ads? Also, I miss Kirbying it. Welcome to Kirby then. Yeah, I'm here to consume shit, not eat it. Not make it. That's the closest to lore I'll have. You know what? That's fine. Write your lore. Spit your shit. Live your life. I have, like, fundamentally goopy goblin gamer brain. And, like, I can't make OCs to save my goddamn life. Unless it's for, like, a tabletop thing. And even then, that's, like, bare minimum. Like, whenever I play a video game, I'm there to play a fucking video game. You know what I mean? It's why I like roguelikes a lot. Because, like, roguelikes are all just... It's all gameplay all the time. It's all gas, no brakes. Does the Binding of Isaac have a story? Yes. Is it a good one? I'm mainly there to blot the screen out with a bunch of different particle effects and try to get the game to crash itself. Oh, Glamour stuff. At this pace, might reach a point where I can just start collecting every single gear set and I'm all for it. I really, really, really hope they, like, implement some form of, like, WoW glam dresser thing where you can just get a piece of gear and that's it. Because it's still really weird that you need to have all this shit on you. Isaac and his mother lived alone at a small house atop a hill. Dawntrail Summoner sucks, but pre-Dawntrail Summoner also sucked in a different way. I mean, pre-Legos, Summoner was for, like, the truly, like, crack-headed among you. But I know people that have that used to fucking love that crack-headedness of old Summoner. That now will not touch Summoner from, like, a 10-foot pole. Because they're like, it's boring now. It just kind of sucks. Yeah, we all kind of, like, went in a big circle in, like, one of the Discord servers I'm in with friends, and we talked about, like, all of our grievances with Dawntrail. Or not, like, Dawntrail, but just, like, 14 is, like, an entire entity. I've never felt more seen than being, like, okay, this is entirely personal opinion. I'm not going to spout this as, like, a fault with the game, but, man, I'm sick of fucking techwear! If you like techwear, have fun with it. Be yourself, do whatever. All right, I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't fucking wear. What do I look like, your mother? But at the same time, I miss armor! Why is everything a jacket? Why is everything shoes and jeans? Fuck off! I want metal! Ah! I think modern and future stuff in FF sucks. See, okay. I was thinking about this on one of my night walks one time. The thing about, like, future societies and stuff is, like, sure. The Asians, not Asians, the other people, we have an A, the Allegan. The Allegan were also, like, a hyper-advanced society that had a bunch of, like, really advanced technology. But they still were, like, uniquely fantasy, like, high technology. Like, you look at any of the Allegan armor from, like, the coils, it's unique. It looks, like, futuristic, sure, but it also has that uniquely fantasy vibe to it, which isn't, like, anything you'd see. And then, like, with Dawntrail, they're just kind of putting in shit that you would see, like, with people would wear, like, in Shibuya. Like, this is just shit from, like, a fashion show somewhere. Like, these are, you've added in, like, fuck-ass sneakers, and then, like, jeans and shorts. And it's like, okay, you've just added in real clothes. And then I'm like, man. Dawntrail's just Phantasy Star Online without the ability to play a cast, which is why it sucks! I'm kidding. We can now dress how I used to dress before I found out I was trans. Tech looks like the Pinterest feed of an edgy 15-year-old. I mean, again, if you like techwear, I'm sure that this has been, like, a great expansion for you. But I'm also, like, one of those people that really doesn't like it whenever there's just normal clothes in 14. Like, I hate the jeans. I hate the t-shirts. I hate the whatever. I'm a fucking, like, I'm an 80-year-old boomer that walks around with my fuck-ass cane. And I'm like, the tanks should be wearing metal armor. And the mages should be wearing robes. It just kind of makes sense to me. Like, literally wear whatever you want. But I am just kind of, like, taken out of it a little bit whenever I see a tank walk up with, like, regular ass clothes that I could see if I just looked in my closet, and I'm like, okay. 13 has a good idea of its fashion. 13 makes sense because the world was designed with that in mind. Like, everybody in 13 kind of looks like that. Like, that was the entire design aesthetic of 13. 14 has kind of like, it's an MMO, you know? It's gonna happen eventually. The ship probably costs Milky to have an aneurysm. Except, I like Solution 9. Solution 9 is nothing new to me. Like, many Final Fantasy games have high technology in them. The thing that gets me is just the fact that everyone's wearing normal fucking clothes. And it's like, why are we doing this? You could have put in, like, anything here other than just, like, normal fucking clothes. Are you the reasons Castro's got nothing but fuck-ass Rose pre-glam unlock? If so, I just want to talk. I think the thing is like, I understand not liking the robes, but also, you could make some good-looking mage outfits. Pre-Dawn Trail. And now that we have, like, glamour unlock, I bet everyone's just gonna wear fucking jeans! Gah! Like, if the design aesthetic was more like the Vanguard armor from, like, that dungeon pre-Solution 9, fucking, like, no notes. I would have been perfectly fine with more things in that design aesthetic sense. Because that, like, that fits. That's still, like, very high-tech, but still very uniquely fantasy. And I'm like, I believe this. Red Mage had nothing but their job, like liquid Red Mage. Okay, but like, see, I love job armor. The only reason I ever leveled a White Mage was just so I could wear the fuck-ass, like, red and white robe, and that's it. That was it for me. I was like, this is it. This is the big leagues right here. I love my mage robes. How the fuck do I, like, throw that thing in front? Yeah. Let like a paladin have like a shield projector. Or like some kind of like fuck-ass lightsaber-esque sword thing. Sword made of like weird beams. My opinion doesn't count, but it does count because it's your opinion. Just like this is my opinion. That's the thing. Like I said, you can like the techwear. I will think of you as an ant beneath me if you like it, though. I will shame you. I won't. But you can like it. This is just me saying I don't like it. Mainly because like I think it looks too much like normal clothes, and normal clothes make me feel like weird in like Final Fantasy. The Emperor's new set and a big fuck ass hat and nothing else. No, it was always robes. Kirby, you're not helping. Kneel before me. I mean, it's fine. That's what you want. They are appealing to you, and I feel as though they will continue to appeal to you. And I wish you nothing but the best. I hope all the outfits you can ever make will inevitably make it into the video game. I hate Battlefire. I miss my abilities, I think. Ow. I only got yellow Kirby in here. Alright, you all do stuff. Ow. Alright, you all do stuff. Stone. I think that's it, though. Maybe. Unless I can think of more. Being able to make a NASA punk glam is cool in my opinion. That's because I enjoyed the aesthetic. I mean, it makes sense because we did go to the moon. .8.0 seems like it's gonna be more fantasy and nature focused. Could death be wrong though? See, that's the thing. Because of Red 13, I'm afraid it's going to be Final Fantasy VII-esque, which means I'm gonna rip my own hair out because I'm gonna be like, fuck, they're jumping the shark. But also, my opinion doesn't matter anyway. I don't play the game. Do you not like FF7? I love FF7. The original FF7, I think, really kind of earned its spot as, like, you know, one of the greats. I think that if 14 ever has to rely on FF7, then, like, that to me is their jumping the shark moment. Like, to me, that would be the point wherever I'm like, okay, I'm kind of, like, losing faith in you all as, like, as like an MMO. Jumping the shark. So, jumping the shark is a term in like television or like shows or something. It basically means that whenever you jump the shark, like that's it. That was your peak. It all goes like, it all just kind of like fades away from here. Let me look it up. Jumping the shark. The idiom jumping the shark or shark jumping or to jump the shark means that a creative work or entity has evolved and reached a point in which it has exhausted its core intent and is introducing new ideas that are discordant or in extreme exaggeration, caricature, of the original theme and purpose. The phrase was coined in 1985 by radio personality John Hine in response to a 1977 episode from the 5th season of American sitcom Happy Days, in which the character Fonzie jumps over a live shark while on water skis. Consumption puts it best. To me, if they hit like the Final Fantasy VII button, that's the emergency button. That's like the sub numbers are down, we gotta get people back. Is there an embargo? I feel like you can introduce things from 7, but like you can never like truly do a 7 expansion, you know what I mean? Glam Arbor and Costa del Sol. Yes. Well, that and, like, the bike. The cloud bicycle. I still want my Final Fantasy I expansion. But they're cowards, and they hate me. They gave me bits and pieces of it in Shadowbringers, but Shadowbringers is still largely a Final Fantasy III expansion. I want, like, a full Final Fantasy I one. This is how you get... This is... I will pay for it. Someone say Stranger of Paradise in 14. Stranger of Paradise is like the fucking worst version of Final Fantasy I ever. Dissidia Duodecim does an infinitely better job of giving character and personality to everybody in Final Fantasy I than, like, fucking Strangers of Paradise does. We could even have a Final Fantasy I expansion. Make it fucking... do weird timey shit again. Maybe we go to a different shard. This shard is, like, super medieval. There's kings, there's queens, there's, like, evil fucking villains that are, like, siphoning the fucking energy of the, like, the earth. And they're the fiends. Whatever. We go on, like, a magic quest. We find a bunch of different locales that are in, like, really fantastical places, like floating sky castle, sunken temple, whatever. And then, bam, that's it. It ends with us going, like, you know, fighting the super boss and then being like, you have defeated me, Warrior of Light, blah! Like, that's just Final Fantasy 1. Final Fantasy 1 is literally just people are evil and they're doing evil things. Go on a magic quest. Go look at cool locations. Was there that really bad Final Fantasy game? The guy turns people into blood crystals and showers them? That was Strangers of Paradise. Like, 14 is mainly, like, it's always been about, like, kind of political dramas and stuff. Ever since, like, A Realm Reborn. And then they kind of, like, shied away from that. And, like, fucking... I mean, Shadowbringers still kind of had it. But it's like, Final Fantasy 1 is just, go on a big quest. There's evil people doing evil things. What if you were, like, a hero of some kind? And then I was like, what if I am a hero of some kind? Golly gee, maybe I could be the hero that saves the world. And then you do it, and they're like, oh, thank you, hero. You are such a hero. Usually, they didn't really say that. The entire point of the journey is just go around, have fun. Deku? Kachan? I'm yicking out, Kachan. Come play Yick with me. I'd have an issue with that plot line. I mean, kinda. Yeah. But at the same time, like... Gah? At this point, I kind of just assume that, like, the entire mentality around 14 is that the people that played that game will, like, say anything is good that comes from it. There's not much plot in that plot line. There's not, but sometimes it's about the adventure. Sometimes it's about, like, the sheer joy of it all. Going to, like, neat and interesting locations. Fighting evil villains. And then saving the day. Saving the day. This wouldn't work entirely, though, in, like, the context of 14, because then they have to figure out where they're going to include the level 91 dungeon, and then the level 93 trial, and then, like, the level 95 dungeon, and then, like, the level and, of course, how they're going to fit six zones into this, and then the 6 zones will, of course, you know, the final zone will be secret, and then we'll open up, and you'll go on, like, some kind of walking tour of it, and then that's it, and then it'll lead to the final dungeon, which then the final dungeon will immediately lead to the final trial, and then that's it, you win the expansion, yay! Oh, this is just, like, this is just the thing again. I've already killed you before. Stop inventing things to be bad about. I'm mad about the current, like, formula because I'm pretty sure it would, like, it heavily limits people and what they can create. Because, like, if you want to tell a story, then you need to make sure it adheres to the formula of dungeon trial, dungeon trial, dungeon trial. And then 6 zones. Because gonna be real, the zones don't really do anything right now. Does anybody even care about the zones? Like, at all? You go through them, you get the Aether Currents, and then you go back and you just kind of stand around and, like, either A, farm mats on them and crawl like a crafter or gatherer. And then you just kind of, like, sit around and wait for hunts to show up, or, like, fate farm. So, like, we could do without 6 zones in an expansion. We don't really lose much in that exchange. Other than just, you know, in another area to get Aether Currents in. Because, like, hell, we saw it during Dawn Trail. The entire, like, America area was kind of basically just filler. It served to move Erinville's story along slightly, but even then, it was largely just nothing. We only started to go back to it in the patches, of all things. And even then, that was also kind of largely just there. Aether currents are my favorite part of the game. No one's ever said this. Make an entire expansion like Bosnia. I think they need to go back to doing weird shit. Did the diadems suck? Yeah, kinda. Like, it really sucked. But they tried something. The variant dungeons were, again, another attempt at something that kind of just... Although I think a lot of that problem was also due to the fact that the battle system's not good currently. I wanted that. But then again, hi. Most of my talking comes from the fact that I've been playing 14 since A Realm Reborn. That's my credentials on all of this. I've been playing the game since it launched in, like, 2.0. I wasn't there for, like, the initial, like OG 1.0. But I was here whenever, like, Poetics were the capped currency. And the uncapped was called Soldiery. And World of Darkness was new. These are my credentials. I've seen the game. I've seen every age of the game. I've had moments in the past where I was like, I'm kind of burnt out right now. I'll take a little bit of break. But then I come back and I'd have a great time. But this is one of those times where I'm like, is this though? Is this just like I need a break, or like is the game just not fun? Hopefully their Kingdom Hearts collab with 14. The biggest issue with that is just that Disney really hates everything. They hate everything. Is it a bad idea? I think it's a fine idea. It's just the fact that, again, Disney is really much like, we hate everything. 2.1x combat or 7x combat? You're gonna fucking call me a liar. You're gonna call me a liar? 2.0. 2.x combat. Mainly because of the fact that there were more things to think about during combat rather than just kind of turning your brain off and doing your rotation. Because, like, you had to keep in mind, like, stances sometimes. There were, at the very least, like, buffs you had to keep up on Dragoon, like heavy thrust, and then things like disembowel, which meant that you had to, like, kind of think on the fly about what you were going to do sometimes. Or, like, whatever. You had DOTs to keep up. Combat felt more like you had to pay attention. And then, like, 7.0 is just kind of do your gauge whenever you have the gauge. Again, you're gonna call me a liar. But I did like how I had to pay attention. What was the best version? 2.0, 3.0, 4.0? 4.0, I think, is the best for a lot of people. 3.0 was the best for me. Mainly because I liked how customizable everything was back in 3.0. But a lot of people liked how everything in 4.0 was kind of, like, streamlined and made, like, better for, like, the modern era. And I think that's fair. Because in 3.0, for instance, accessories were not restricted. So tanks could run strength accessories on their right side, which meant that if you were playing a dedicated off tank, you could just not have any vitality increasing accessories at all. You could just dump damage. And in dumping damage, you were now doing a lot of damage. However, this was also kind of like a double-edged sword, because if you forgot that you had those on, then oopsie poopsie, you kind of just threw the entire dungeon because you die really fast. Wasn't 3.0 when the Alex Rays came out and bodied everyone? Yeah. That was mainly due to the fact of, like, it was kind of just the fact that, like, the raids were hard a lot, and, like, the game was not suited for this environment. There was a lot of experimental raids, too. The weakest post 2.0 for narrative. They're playing things are too hard and they made it easier. Now they're playing it's too easy. The issue with that is the fact that Square Enix loves to take a sledgehammer approach to doing things, and they don't really do things in incremental, like, times. Or hell, like, Creative Business Unit 3, them. They don't really do things in, like, minor ways. If someone's like, this is too easy, then they just kind of take a sledgehammer to difficulty and make it, like, too complicated. And if people are like, this is kind of too complicated, then once again, they take the sledgehammer to it, and then they hyper simplify it. There's never, like, a good middle ground that ever gets reached anywhere. You think 14 has too many DPS classes? I think 14 has too many classes, period. I'm looping the rooms. Like, Viper, for instance. Viper is Reaper and Gunbreaker together. I don't know why Viper exists. Pictomancer's unique. I'll give him that. Do you know where to go? Fuck no. But, like, Pictomancer's unique. What classes would you cut? I would cut... I need to look at all the classes again. Except the jobs. I would cut... Viper... This is a hard one, actually. Viper, Gunbreaker, both Summoner and Scholar, and then Ninja. And then it tossed up between either Bard or Machinist. Not Scholar, my baby. I think that, like, for Scholar and Summoner to truly exist, they need to be, A, decoupled from one another, and B, like, put back to the drawing board. An FF game without Summoner, what? I mean, that's what the game is right now. Look, you want to go play Summoner, go play 11. I mainly think that, like, they need to just kind of cut classes or just, like, not add any new ones and really make sure that the ones they have added are, like, fun to play. Because, like, Dragoon does have jumps, sure. All the classes technically have, like, something that would be like, look, it is class. But I mean, really new to this. There is an Archer class in 14. It's called Archer, and then it changes into Bard. Monk punches people. Monk does punch people. They remove so much spaghetti code stuff in Dawn Trail. I pray for the Scholar Summoner decoupling. It's just, like, weird how they both just have Arcanus as, like, the main base class. Because, like, realistically, is Summoner even Summoner? It doesn't feel like it. You feel more like a Ruin Mage than anything. Summoner feels more like a fucking 13 reference. A lot of the Dawn Trail dead times are unfucking the code base, which is good. God knows it needed it. Solar Bahamas, huh? I am tiny. I am made of 2-ply toilet paper and sand. But, like, how the fuck, in any crab capacity, did, like, people okay just adding in another Bahamut as, like, the new summon? Haven't people been wanting, like, Leviathan, Ramu, and Shiva for, like, ever? Or it's just a dot mage. It needs a better rotation. I think it just needs, like, the ability to, like, have a pet out and then, like, have the pet do things. White Bahamut, Shinryu. We should add in another Bahamut! I love summoning Bahamut! Add in Neo Bahamut, Zero Bahamut, Exaflare, Terraflare, Bahamut! Kind of Beastmaster, you say. I mean, limited jobs, I've already said. They make me fucking mad because limited jobs just prove that they have, like, they have the wherewithal to make fun classes. They just don't. Give us Donald Duck, Zetaflare. Kingdom Hearts fans have one joke! Why are we making limited jobs cool? Because they can! Joke's on you, Milky. You still made it. Interesting. Can I not go in the door? So we have 2. I don't really know why they make limited jobs, like, limited. Because, like, they're sick as fuck, and they actually make sense, and, like, they would provide a fun and unique way to, like, get skills other than just, like, do your class quest, do your class quest, do your class quest. You're now the best warrior to ever exist. I can teach you no more. I prefer, like, Blue Mage's way of doing it, being like, ah, fuck it, go learn a skill somewhere. Go get hit by, like, Omega and get, like, wave cannon. Perma-freezing stuff kind of breaks the game. I mean, yeah, but still, it's fun. Besides, most bosses in FF games are immune to anything, like, any kind of form of, like, either insta-killer effect or, like, movement imparity effect. I'm talking more like how they interact with the game world. Like, Blue Mages have to go out and learn skills. And they do that. And then they interact with, like, the overworld and stuff, and that's how they do it. Whereas, like, for most every other class, the way you learn skills is like, okay, you level up, and then you talk to this person, and they're like, you're the best to ever do it. Here, now you can use Super Death Flare. It does 500 potency, and can only, and should be comboed after you're one. All content be obliterated by the blue meta. See? This is where there's a fun game. There's a really cool game that did have a blue mage. That was not a limited job. It was called Final Fantasy XI. And the way you learned spells in Final Fantasy XI was by going out into the field and fighting enemies to unlock blue magic. And you could then use this job anywhere. And it was a real job that could do things. And the way you learned your spells was by going out and doing things. The way Summoner worked in 11 was that you would go out into the world and find the summons and challenge them to fights. And if you won, you got the summon. And then you could use that summon. How's 11 doing in terms of player base? It's still going. It's like on the uptick, actually. It's getting a new expansion, actually, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's still going strong. Is it as popular as 14? No. But at the same time, 14 is mainly that popular because a lot of people just kind of use it as Second Life. For real? Yeah, no, for real. They had to add in, like, new servers to, like, handle all the new people coming in. Like, there's also the fact that, like, 14 has proven to be a game that can, like, be fun to play. They've, like, the 2-minute meta thing and the current state of 14 is not the way it's always been. It has existed in a state of being fun to play before. So, like, it is possible to go back to this fun to play state. They just keep it in this current state for reasons. Good night, Fur. To get my red mage fix. V, what you want to go play is 5. If you're looking for, like, a way to get your red mage fix and for a fun job system, either go play Bravely Default or go play 5. Okay, you know the reason. I think that we shouldn't be appealing to the lowest common denominator. Okay? Sorry. I think a game should suck. But then again, I understand that I full well understand that I am, like, a marketable freak. Because I really like SMT Imagine, and that game is, like, not fun unless you're, like, true blue freako mode. You know, actually, you know what? You know what's a good fucking, like... You know what's a good example of this? White Knuckle. What a transition. Okay, no, but, like, hang on. Okay, hang on. Here, I will show you what I mean. I will show you with my, like... I will show you with my me what I mean by this. That's wrong. Okay, so, like, look at this. This is White Knuckle. Here, I'll get rid of the ad text, too. So this is the advanced course. The way the advanced course wants you to get through the game is by doing this. Throw the rebar, jump on it, climb up like this. By climbing up like this, you now get here. It wants you to grab these things, throw the rebar there, put this there, put that there. You jump over, put that there, do this, and then you slowly climb up, and now you're here. Once you're here, it wants you to throw that, like, over there. You jump to it, and now you're up here. See? Slow and methodical. This is how a new player and or a casual player would do all of that. Now, If you know what you're doing, you grab the rebar, jump up with one hand, get up here, grab the other rebar, double rebar boost your way up here. You've now completely skipped that entire section, and it took about, like, fucking 15 seconds less. You can go over here, you do this, it falls down, you climb up the rope to go here, and then you climb up this way, and you very carefully maneuver over here. You jump to this handhold, and you slowly make your way around, and then you're here. And then you're like, okay, I have to do the monkey bars. And you monkey bars over to here, and you grab these, and then you can go like, well, now what do I do? And then you could maybe, like, grab this, put this here, get this out, do that, go here, put another one down, and then you go here, and then it's like, okay. So now I have to go like this, very carefully, and now I'm here. So from here, I do this, and then that makes a rope that I do this on, but I missed. Darn. So, again, if you know what you're doing, you can do this. Go like this, go up here, we're up here. So now what do? Now we go here, we go up here. Well, if I was better at the game. Again, if I was better at the game. We go up here. We grab the drugs. We use the drugs immediately. We are now stupidly fucking fast. Grab the rocket jump. Go back here. Go up here. We climb on top of this lamppost. On top of the lamppost, we go all the way up here immediately. Grab this. Rebar jump up here. We now super boost our way up there. That would have given me a lot more air if I did it right. But this is what I'm talking about. This is like skill execution. And I know that I'm using an entirely different game, an entirely different genre, and blah, 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 all that jazz, whatever. Basically, what I'm saying is, all of this exists in the game, and this is, like, for high-level people. You can do all of this. And the casual experience is not harmed at all. The casual experience has its own way of going about things, and that's fine. But if you're an advanced player, you can do all this shit and have fun. You can go as fast as you want or as slow as you want, and it's not harmed. Whereas, like, in 14, if someone figured out a way to do, like, more damage on Black Mage, then it would be like, what the fuck, man? We gotta nerf that. You're doing more than what we intended. You can't do that. And then everybody would be playing at the exact same level. But then the casual players would still play worse because they suck at the game. What game is this? That's Wuckle. That's White Knuckle. Most of the time, with, like, the casual player base of an MMO, especially 14, it's kind of like bear-proof trash cans. You know what I mean? There was that one, like, park ranger that said, there is an overlap between the smartest bear and the stupidest tourist. So, like, no matter how bad you might perceive, like, someone to be at 14, or yourself, if that's even you, there's always someone that is really bad at the game. And genuinely, it's, like, strange to me. Because most of, like, the main story content in the game is very easily completable. Like, with no form of pushback, like, what is it? Friction at all. It's just, you do it, you win. So, like, because the game needs to basically appeal to those people, the ones that, like, are very bad at the game, then it kind of suffers. It makes the entire game suffer. Because now everybody, like, can only do things within, like, the curated play box. Within, like, the very controlled sand castle. I hate my dad for getting me to drink, like, grape Monster. Because it's good. What if the better way to do your rotation someone discovered is less fun than the regular one? Yeah, it's skill expression, but it also sucks. I think the thing is, at that point, is to just, like... not listen? Like, if it's more optimal to do that, the thing is that the less optimal path should also still be viable, but the more optimal path should exist for people that want to do that path. It should be an option that's there. I was thinking 14. Yes. Because that's the white knuckle example. The white knuckle example is the casual path exists, and many people can take that path. It's slow, it's methodical, it's easy. Or sometimes it might actually require you to, like, you know, do a little bit of the hard skill execution, but for the most part, it's doable, it's easy. But the advanced paths are there if you possess the skill to do them. That's the reason they killed off any kind of job customization. I mean, the thing is that even now, people still get angry. Dark Knight did 2% more damage than Warrior, and people still get mad. Which is why I think at this point, just say fuck it. Go all in. Make some classes, like, weirdly balanced. For the fuck of it. Who cares? 2% is nothing. 2% mattered. Back in... Endwalker. I had to think. I had to think about when Pandemonium was. Because the main goal of endgame raiders is, like, they don't really care. You know what I mean? If everybody was a gray square that had the same rotation and did the same thing, that's, like, the ideal environment for them. I placed the dispenser in a not optimal spot. This was before Bot Haven. Where am I? There's a goal there. Is there even a mirror shard here?
There is a mirror shard here.
I think there's like zero transfer. I think there should be zero transferable skills for playing in a job the same class. You should be playing Warrior for years and then pick up Paladin and basically do fine. You should fail. I agree with this. I don't think any tank should be transferable. But because everybody has like the same cooldowns and mitigations, it's just the same thing. Dark Knight is slightly better at mitigating magic damage, and that's kind of it. But even then, magic damage types have been a thing they've been trying to do away with anyway. Or not magic damage, I mean just damage types in general. Every day my machines because it does less damage or something. Like the entire dungeon, the shit matters enough. I'm seeing people stop playing the job for some reason. It's because fucking... I don't know why. Unless every job is constantly performing at like the same level as every other job, people will get mad. And even then, whenever every job's the same, like here we are. Everyone's mad again. Which is why I think we should just say fuck it and go all in. Make jobs weird, make them weird and bad, but also make them fun. Because when things are bad, things can be fun. I love Dragon's Dogma. That game is dog shit, but it's fun. Like, what's your favorite type of weapon? I'm gonna go with the Scythe, yeah. Reaper. I played Samurai for like 5 years or something. If I picked up Dragoon, it would make almost no difference in how well I do in fights that aren't like Savage. Which is what I've been saying. Also, hi Max, how you doing? But like... 10 billion% of the player base does not engage with high-end content anyway. Like, you could just give every single casual story-based player a one-button combo that just kind of does everything for them and nothing would change. They get you kicked out of pugs for some encounters. See, that feels like an encounter problem then, and not like a class problem. Do I go down here? No, I go up. And then I go left. I need rock! So my job is bad in this fight can actually be a bit irrelevant in a game where you can play a job on any character. You speak from my soul, Miss Max Poetic. If you want to do hard content, then I say, like, learn the job. If Astrologian is performing better in this current piece of content, just go learn Astrologian. And if not, then try to make it work on your job. Ideally, the fight should not be impossible with your job, but it should, like, maybe it's easier with Astrology because of certain mechanics. Because, like, and if you're like, well, I don't like Astrology, don't play it. This is the game where you can play anything on your character. If you don't like a job, you don't have to play it. I think eventually have to enough that bunch of gimmicky boss sets. And Shen got depressed. Maybe we should have swapped off Warrior for the 6.2 Savage. You see, like, that's the thing, though. Like, maybe Dark Knight just did better in that class. I think that's fun game design. Because it encourages you to, like, do something different. You have a mirror shard. Astrology being slightly better in this account would save, and otherwise 1% wipe. Me and my friends would like to clear it. You make your own party finder and say, I'm playing Astrology. There will be plenty of people that also want to play off meta. These parties existed back in Heavensward too, you know, where they were like, Zervon, the demon, skip Soar or disband. There were plenty of parties that were willing to do Soar. Like, there's still plenty of people out there that would be willing to play with, like, an off-meta pick. I want the hat. Like hell. Look at fucking... People love off-meta shit, too. That Yoshi guy that played Smash. People love that guy, because Yoshi sucked. But he made him work, and it was like, holy shit. I think my only true opinion that I would call, like, complete and utter dog shit with 14 is that, like... Again, I know this is dog shit. You don't have to be like, yeah, that sucks. Like, Milky, you're wrong. I know this is wrong. I think tanks, if they can, like, solo a fight, that's more just a problem. I think they should be able to. Fuck it. Who cares? This is my, like, truly dog shit take. I think that speaks more to the problems of Warrior being able to do it more than, like, anything else. Balancing sucks, but it's also necessary if you don't want everybody to play the same couple of jobs, which is why, thank God, we can now play we can now play Shield Warrior, we can play Gunbreaker Warrior, we can play Dark Knight Warrior, and we can play Warrior. Thank God for that. And thank God we now can play all these new melee DPS jobs where we build up a gauge and then we spend the gauge, then we build up the gauge and then we spend the gauge. Oh, 14. How much I wish you were... fun! Of DK and Luigi players in Melee, as with the Yoshi man is not the only one. I need dog shit classes and things so I can feel good about myself for playing them well. Exactly! Exactly! I jokingly want to call you Salty the Squid. It's kind of like... I've been around 14 for so long, and I've seen it at, like, its most fun, to me, personally. And I know that it can be fun. I've had fun playing 14. And I'm more, like, sad and lamenting the fact that, like, 14 is just largely doing things that are not conducive to making a fun video game. I literally was so confident a Viper would do nothing different. I vowed to post boobs if it did, and my boobs remain unposted. The thing that was most fun for you was awful for other people. I don't think it was, though. Because now many people are lamenting the fact that all the jobs are the same. Like, I don't really think many healers like the fact that their current rotation is one damage button and then, like, one dot button. And then the rest of the fight is just devolved to, you get to play if someone messes up. And if no one messes up, you barely get to play the game. And then Warrior makes you largely irrelevant. But that's also just another case of Warrior can just kind of do everything in this game, and why can it do everything in this game? Good balancing. Having less, the better your teammates are. It's, like, weird. The boss will do a raid-wide AoE attack, so you have something to do. They had a lot to do. Oh, yeah, they did! I was there for it! Whatever astrologers had to, like, think about the cards they drew and, like, how to best apply them to the current situation. But because, like, people complained about drawing the balanced pre-raid fight, they had to change that. Now all the cards are the same. Please look forward to 8.0 whenever they will change astrology again. I'm knowing that every other class has healing moves, and now make the healer class relevant. What the hell were they thinking with that? I don't... Again, Warrior has, like, a better AoE heal than, like, most healers. I was reading the chat. Bloodletting is the best way to describe how selfish the warrior job. That's a good thing, and yet a very bad thing. The good is that it caters to players that struggle in softening from enemies to allies quickly, but it's bad that doesn't encourage you to get better at interacting with your allies quickly. Like, the only interaction you learn is AoE mitigation and tank swapping. Like, I used to have fun playing, like, White Mage and Scholar. Scholar, especially. Because Scholar was just, I'm playing a DPS job, and I have, like, a lot of shit I can be doing right now. On top of paying attention to the fight and, like, doing barriers and stuff. But also, healing is mainly done by my fairy. My job, as of right now, I'm going to be casting Broil. And a lot of it. I got a lot of DOTs to keep up. I got a lot of things to do. Or hell, the interactivity of Astrologian, drawing, like, the balance. Or no, not the balance, the arrow, and watching your monk go fucking insane, and then crying because they ran out of TP. Which was funny. I do think removing TP from the game was good, though. Fuck TP. No TP ever. Monk being like, not the arrow. Fuck. It was always the monk gets the arrow and then immediately in chat, goad, please. Ninja. Ninja, please. Goad. What's TP? TP was basically a static resource that every single melee job had. It kind of functioned like, okay, on paper, it was like a stamina bar. It was MP. It was MP for physical classes. You would use a skill, it would use MP. TP. But also, if you used sprint, it used up all your TP, which meant that you immediately fucking bankrupted yourself if you accidentally hit it and it was on your hotbar. And then also, if you died and resurrected, then you had to manage your TP. It was a very weird system. You couldn't increase your TP like you could MP back in the day. But then again, increasing MP also didn't really do much because all your skills as like a caster scaled like with how much MP you had. It's a very strange system. That sounds ass. It kind of was. Not many people like TP, and I don't blame them. Come give a little smooch to Kirby. Like, even now, in a post, like, fucking, X expansion was better. Where we're all boomers of, like, a previous expansion. I don't think anybody is like, oh, well, TP was good, actually. It wasn't. I don't think anybody says this. Because, at the very least, some people are, like, smart of brain. What of Dragon Quest X? You should play Dragon Quest X because Dragon Quest X does things that like I like to call fun because it involves random bullshit. I think having random procs are fun because it encourages you to pay attention to the fight and keep your eyes open. It keeps you engaged with the fight. 14 fights are largely just like a choreographed dance. The goal of the fight is to know the fight in and out. That way you like know everything that's going to happen, and therefore you know what you should be doing to like a T. I wouldn't be shocked if like you could basically plan out an entire like extreme and like macro it to an extent. 14 isn't the only MMORPG Final Fantasy game, right? There's also 11. Even the US makes doing anything else hell on earth, so I gotta be locked in on DQ for that duration. Yeah, which sucks as like a casual thing. I get it. Because it is hard to just kind of boot it up and be like, I'm having a good time, because you have to commit to being American, and that is kind of hellish. But like, for instance, Dragon Quest X has a job called Gadabout. Gadabout is a clown. Everything about this job is entirely random chance-based. So, like, you have a special action called Lucky Dip, and what it does is entirely fucking random. It can boost all your allies' attack defense and give them haste. It can recover HP for everybody. Everybody takes less damage. It boosts their magic power, or it gives them a chance to dodge attacks. Or, for enemies, it can cause them all to laugh and cause them to, you know, get stunned for a little bit. It can cause all enemies. It can do, like, an attack which either misses them or does a fuckload of damage. You can either randomly damage enemies in front of you 6 times and cause confusion, or damage yourself 6 times. You can deal damage to enemies in front of you. You can reduce the attack or defense of nearby enemies by 2 stages. You can inflict confusion on enemies. You can reduce the spell resistance of nearby enemies. Or you could inflict stun. Or you could fall asleep and get your HP and MP back. Or you could stun yourself. Or you could restrain yourself. Or nothing could happen. Sounds like an April Fool's update class. This is like a legitimate class. You could do like Hocus Pocus, which you put a circle on the ground and people stand in it, they heal and get MP back. Or you could cast Meteor, that's a fuckload of damage. Or you could put ice on the ground and enemies freeze when they step on it. Or gifts could fall down that explode. Or nothing could happen. My streams are doing me. It's me, boy. Fuck DQ11. You have to beat DQ11. Like, they have a Beastmaster-esque job in, like, Dragon Quest X. And it's fully playable. And it rules. They have, like, a job that's solely dedicated to doing things like doing shit with items. Also, items matter, which is fun. They had 4 clowns. Is Dragon Quest X still going there? Yes. It gets expansions, like, regularly. We got where we are for a reason. Going back to 4.0 design philosophy is just going to bring back different problems. I mean, it will, but I think it's like, it's better than doing nothing. Because the current state of the game is just incredibly boring. So you get a lot of people that don't even want to boot the game up to play it. Many people just boot it up out of like a sense of addiction, I'd say. And they just kind of stand around and do nothing. At least with Dragon Quest X, like, the classes are fun to play and all very unique in what they do. Which is good, because it gives reason to play a different class. And jobs mainly have to be like a massive focus of 14, because they are the entire vehicle with which you interact with the game. And if they suck, by extension, most of the game just kind of ends up sucking by nature. Unless, of course, again, you're that kind of person I mentioned where you have, like, a Warrior of Light, and you have, like, lore for them, and stuff of that nature, in which case, this doesn't really apply to you, because, you know, you're making your fun with the game in a different way. Where am I going? There's something fun with red mages, blue mages, or summoners. Those tend to be the most fun classes for me. There's a goal there. Blue mage is fun and unique. Red mage is kind of... okay. I've been in games other than 14. Content needs to figure out which player base it wants to cater to instead of doing everything all at once. I can agree with that. They need to kind of like pick a lane and stay in it, and then no matter what, kind of just accept the fact that you can't like appease everybody and that some people are gonna die off. And currently, you know, that's me, and I accept that fact. If the game in 8.0 continues to double down on like the things that they're doing right now and cater to that player base, that's fine. I just won't play the game. I won't lose. I won't like die. I just need to know, like, what they're going to do. Blue mages are fun, but it's locked to level cap the previous expansion. Oh, yeah. Didn't Yoshi encourage people not no-lifing 14? He regularly says, like, if you're bored of the game, take a break. Which, I mean, legitimately, I get it. I get where he's coming from. I don't know if that's, like, a good attitude to have as, like, the head director of a video game. But I mean, people love saying that. So I mean, it's working. That's also the thing. The take a break thing would be very useful if you didn't have to pay like digital rent. But you do have to pay digital rent on your house. So like you have to pay 15 bucks every like month or so to not lose your house. We'll find out come FanFest or something. I don't know what they're gonna do at FanFest, honestly. Like I said earlier, but like I'm scared that their current way of like digital rent. So, your house in Final Fantasy XIV that you own is on an auto demolition timer. If you don't go into it after a certain number, like after a certain amount of time, 45 days. Which means that if you don't log in, your house gets demolished and it goes back on the market. You get to keep all the stuff in it. Like, they'll give you back your decorations and stuff, but if you want the plot of land back, you have to enter into another, like, lottery to potentially get pulled for that plot of land, and then you have to spend money again to build the house. This is what I mean and what many people mean by digital rent. Yoshi P charges you basically, like, digital rent money. He makes you pay digital rent. Granted, you can avoid this by buying an apartment, but like apartments are small and they don't really have like a lot of space to do like maybe what you want with your house. And there's different floor plans and maybe you really like your large house. And it's like, it's a dog shit system. I don't know why it's still in the game. What was I saying before that? Something. Right. I am worried that currently their big talks of like revamping the game is doing something with like the reward system and them calling that like a good job. And I mean like that would help, but then like the classes still kind of suck to play. It's just that now you can get rewards better for playing the classes that suck. Is being here good? No. Like, honestly, a thing that does desperately need to change is, like, the loot lockout. I don't know why it's limited to one character per week, instead of it being, like, one job category per week. So this way, like, oh, if you want to gear up, like, a physical, a range DPS, and a magical DPS, these are all different lockouts, and so this way you can just kind of do whatever you want. Look, he's just been kind of wandering in circles. I don't know where to go. This is just the amazing mirror to me. Means you can use housing for any time accessible venues and shit, which made doing the endgame conventions possible. But in another instance, they made a housing market in a fucking video game. If that's something anyone wanted simulated. Right. I mean, this takes me to Area 4. I need to go where red is. I'm missing 4 mirror shards. But, like, again, I understand that many of the opinions that I hold about Final Fantasy XIV are not shared by many people. This is because of the fact that largely the game has fallen out of favor with me heavily due to a variety of reasons. Also, mainly because of the fact that I play other video games. I'm sorry to say this. This is going to sound mean, but I do think that many people that play 14 don't necessarily play many other MMOs, which is fine. Everybody has their one MMO. but I've played a bunch of other MMOs, and I've seen, like, greener grass. Or mainly just that I've seen how it can be done better. $14 bad. No, 14 not bad. 14's boring, which I think is, like, worse than bad. If it was bad, that's whatever. That can be, like, whatever. It's just boring. 14 bland. 14 bland. Have I even been up here? Boring's a death sentence at times. Like, if you want character customization and like the character customization, I'd say just go play PSO. Like, that game's dog shit to, like, play, but it's got, like, some of the best character customization ever. You can make literally anything in that game. Remember during Scuffleathon? I remember the beasts. Like, if you're just looking for character customization, that's PSO too. I've become a real single-player Andy these days. I mean, same. However, I will engage in various multiplayer games whenever the stars align and everybody wants to play them. But for the most part, I just like playing video games. Bad decisions made from the start whenever they made ARR. Yeah. The goon beasts. Okay, I need to figure out how to get to, like, not Area 9. Okay, well, yeah, I need to get to Candy Constellation. I know I know how to get to Candy Constellation. Do people who play PSO2 actually play PSO2? No, they're in it for the character customization, that's it. At least that's kind of the system I get. But, like, I've seen how you can do a cooperative MMO. Dragon Quest does it. Dragon Quest has very unique ideas on how to do an MMO combat style. Not Dragon Quest, that's the game I was just talking about. Dragon's Dogma Online was largely just Dragon's Dogma, but online, which is what a lot of people wanted from, like, a multiplayer Dragon's Dogma game. And the main problem with it was just the fact that Dragon's Dogma was a very popular game franchise in the West, and they released this game as a Japanese-only MMO, wherever Dragon's Dogma didn't necessarily do that well. And it's like, oh, well, gee, fucking Willikers. The game that was popular in the West didn't do so popular in the East. Why'd that happen? I don't know. Why did it? Adding engagement in multiplayer games, every multiplayer game wasn't either survival crafting, open world, or make ice cubes. I think my problem with most current games that are like, at this point, I would take a survival crafting game. You know what I mean? Like, most games now are like, it's our new extraction shooter. This game, Escape from Bloody Barbov, is the hottest new thing. You enter into video game with AI voice acting, and this time there is people. Every interaction is unique. You might come across a man, and he might say hi. Such high-octane moments can only be found in Scrimblow's Gimblow 70 billion. And then the game will die in 5 days. Return to zombie games. Give me a zombie game. It's either that or, like, every new game is some kind of fucking weird live service, like, shooter. That they're like, this one's going to be different because this time it's blue. This has a blue aesthetic. See this guy? He's blue. I'm even gonna kill myself. Jeff Keighley puts as the final trailer. I'm like, I don't know. There's a Tumblr post that's been going around that's like, Western game developers love making the most generic hero shooter ever and losing $10 billion over it. And, like, they're kind of right. Like, High Guard is a game that certainly exists and came out, but it also did that about like 7 years too late. Okay, this leads down. That's not good. Hi, Kirby. This is just like the video game Yap stream. Which works. I got a lot of brain shit in my head. Wait, did I just lock myself out? You play it and you either win or you lose, and there's unintrusive progress I can freely ignore. I agree. Speak your truths. I mean, personally, my biggest, like, my most recent Hawk take, my biggest Hawk Tua take, is that I think the first M in like MMOs could be removed and nothing would fucking change. Because, like, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be so real. I like MMOs conceptually, but at the same time, they're very limited by the fact that, like, they need to have that, like, it's massively multiplayer and online. And it's like, 14 can't even handle, like, more than about 100 people being rendered on screen at one time. I did it again. And then, like, most other MMOs, like, sure, it's massive, but does anybody actually do anything in these games aside from just stand around and do fuck all in, like, a hub town somewhere? You could make it, like, a 30-player-ish server instance and have, like, responsive and active combat and, like, weird and interesting gameplay mechanics. Maybe some physics or something. By just having, like, a smaller, more responsive server. MMOs are just pretty chat rooms. This is true. You're talking about Destiny. Nah, it's like Warframe 2. It's like most survival crafting games. Hell, Ark falls into this category. To an extent, Rust does as well. Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter counts. Ideally, it would be Monster Hunter, but like with a bigger party size. Wait, I need burning. I need burning. Was that guy bothering you? I just think that usually the MMO like structure kind of hinders you a lot. Dragon Quest makes it work because they do turn-based MMO or kind of like active time battle MMO where it's, you know, it's the ATB system from like old Final Fantasy games, but like as a actual MMO battle system, and it works out very well. So Toontown. Like Toontown, yeah, but if it wasn't a Disney property. What if I... my burning, my burning. Like, for instance, hi. I'm the insane person that thinks Deep Woken on Roblox is a very good MMO. Because, guess what? It is. Toontown is awesome because you can call Mickey Mouse a slur and get banned. I'm not playing fucking Roblox. I'm not asking you to. I'm saying that usually on Roblox, many good ideas for games exist and they're held back by the current limitation of the fucking Roblox engine. Like, there's a lot of things that if you look at it from a conceptual standpoint are like, that kind of makes sense. I think this would fucking, like, this would fucking indeed heavy. That guy exists outside of Smash Bros. I think he was made for Smash Bros. First, Because if you eat him in this game, then you get the Smash ability, which gives Kirby a bunch of his Smash moves back. On account of the horrors. I'm not asking you to play Roblox! You're missing the conversation! At no point during this was I like, you all should play Roblox. I'm saying that things on the Roblox platform have good fucking conceptual game ideas. From a game design perspective, they are fascinating to analyze and think about. I am not asking you to play Roblox. I am saying that these are fun things to think about, that they are conceptually interesting. Because a lot of the way, like, the way that Roblox works is that you can make weird game design ideas that maybe wouldn't find, like, enough of a funding to reach mass marketability or success, but you can release them on a platform that hosts its own servers and can do it for free. How hard is it for Roblox devs to not groom kids? But as hard as it is for a Minecraft YouTuber to do it. So Dreams, basically. Kind of, but if it was, like, more popular. Because, like, hi. Look. For instance, game design concept in the form of, like, the shit-ass, really bad One Piece game I played. Blocks Fruits. How he gives him his Smash moveset all. Check out the description. Where is it? Is it here? Attack with familiar fighting moves. It's entirely just, you know, this is the melee moveset. But, like, shit-ass One Piece game I played. Conceptually, this is a dog shit thing to ever implement in a video game. But, because balancing is not something you have to worry about in a shit-ass Roblox game, they have, like, this thing where every so often, like, one of the devil fruits will spawn somewhere in, like, the game world map. And if you find it, you get it. And that's it. Now you have devil fruit powers. Conceptually, this would lead to a massive power imbalance and be dog shit and bad. But in the shit-ass One Piece game, it's cool. It creates a fun little interaction, and it's like, wow, I have found a unique power-up in this game that is rare. And this adheres to the lore of the world that it's also copying. Interesting. And then it also, you know, and the game is largely water-based. And if you eat the fruit, now you die whenever you go in water, which is also accurate to the fucking games. And it's like, wow, this is interesting and nice and kind of cool. And would this work in a real video game? No, because if most of the map was fucking water and you died whenever you touched water, people would be like, but why can't I go into water? And then, you know, they'd have to change it. I died. Remember how games used to do references to Easter eggs for extended universe story ruined that forever? Thinking about it, yeah, you're right. Like, if the Halo 3 Easter eggs came out now, like with, like, the weird, like, Bigfoot family, there'd be a bunch of, like, videos being like, but what is up with the weird Bigfoot family in Halo 3? I was playing the game like normal, and then I saw this off on the side. If we look into the lore logs of Halo 3's marathon terminals, we will actually see that these Bigfoot family members were left here by the Forerunner civilization. Thus meaning that this is probably the Forerunners before they were actually implemented into the game series. Wow, Bungie sure is great at foresight and storytelling. Subscribe for more Vor videos. And then how most video games used to work. Well, it's like you can swim in the water if you don't have the devil fruit power. But if you do have the devil fruit power, you can't swim. Or like Deep Woken. Deep Woken is a game in which like it has pseudo permadeath, where it's like, okay, if you die, then you go to like hell mode. And if in hell mode, you can like leave hell mode if you get like, if you're good enough. But if you're not good enough and you die in hell mode, you're dead forever. You have to make a new character. But also like doing everything in the game on that one character, it then becomes like the point. And there's even like achievements for doing everything in the game on that one character. And it's like, this is kind of cool. I like this. It encourages me to like maybe try out a different play style. It's kind of like if Dark Souls was a roguelike, but you could also complete Dark Souls in about like 20 hours. That SAO game coming out soon. SAO games I've heard are actually really like weirdly good. Which is, again, weird. I have no frame of reference on this, so I can't really chime in, but I've heard this. Two more! Pink. The new SAO game is going to have permadeath. I think that's good. Metaquick. All right, so where do I go from here? Where am I missing something? It's got to be, okay, I know I'm missing something in like the wet. But which area is the wet? Musty Mountain, nothing there. Definitely missing something in Carrot Castle. Olive Ocean. I remember getting to Olive Ocean being like the biggest headache for me ever as a kid. And apparently even now. Reduff which occasionally function accurately to the manga could work if A, the core gameplay was based more on the variety of fighting styles that exist in the One Piece universe, and B, the average gamer wasn't a little pissed about throw a tantrum of I want Gum Gum Fruit now. That leads me to Area 5. Area 5 is Carrot Castle. So if I go to Peppermint Palace and then figure out how to go down, I am Big Wiener. Are you Peppermint Palace? No. Are you Peppermint Palace? You're Cabbage Camber. The one MMO that anime people have killed an MMO for. I mean, I'm shocked that many like anime that make like money hand over fist mainly just stick to making weird shitty arena fighters instead of making like some kind of like free-to-play MMO like slop instead. You know, at least try. This is Candy Constellation. Not what I'm looking for. This is Rainbow Route. No. This is Peppermint Palace. The game does not like me pausing it this much. Done Mesh MMO, please. I want a Bleach MMO. I think that'd be fun. You have like a bunch of different starting like races. You can be like a Hollow. You can be a fucking Quincy Soul Reaper. Whatever. You do the thing that like SWTOR did where it's a bunch of different like starting storylines that maybe all converge on like one storyline after a while. Or they don't. Okay, good. The batteries and fans sometimes not being an anime reunified 12 billion, half a billion One Piece fans somehow can't read. I think like this is gonna sound weird. This is gonna be like very weird. But like, I think Dragon Ball Xenoverse kind of like tainted the water for many other anime games just because of like how good it is. And I mean, you can say Dragon Ball Xenoverse is shit, and I'd like, you know, I would agree with you to an extent. But like, them doing the thing where you have access to like everything in the game with like your own custom character in like the video, like the anime universe world thing, and then like you kind of make your own fighting guy. Kind of the sickest thing ever. Like, it fulfills a deep part of the brain. Have I been here? Yes. Jojo's Eyes have really cool stand abilities in the work. The proper game balance be damned. If I play Dio and build time stop loading, get it off. Congratulations. You're not able to play the video game for the next 10 seconds because I am Dio and I stop time. Where's the feeling of, oh, this show is so cool that you just play action figures? I think more anime arena fighters need to be unbalanced. So I agree with this take. If more anime arena fighters were just entirely fucking unbalanced, then like, sure, whatever, go nuts. Who gives a shit? You're playing an anime arena fighter. Embrace the jank. This is what like you basically paid for. Like the Bleach game that just came out. Okay. You're talking about like Bleach Dawn of Souls or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, that one, that's... I completely agree, but also that game's like sauceless. Which sucks. Because I like Bleach. And that game is like, okay, like play. But that's also because it's like, it's still arena fightery. So it's just kind of like you hit one button and it just kind of does everything. Sparking Zero did that and died up really fast. From what I remember hearing, that's because Sparking Zero was just like a lot less content rich than like every other Budokai game before it. And I remember that because I won every single fight in that game by just beam blasting everything, and there was like 5 maps. Is there like a door here or something? Yes. The secret. And then this leads here. And then this leads here. So I can go through here, go to here. And then this leads me to areas. They're adding 30 more characters to Dragon Ball. I know this. I've seen this. I was more excited for Xenoverse 3, gonna be real. But I mean, I am happy to hear that Sparking Zero is at least getting something. Fuck, you all show up here. All right, we make do. I now remember I need to also get to Radish Ruins. Looks like it takes a lot of lore from Dragon Ball Online. Doesn't it take place in the same year? Or am I just making things up for like the fun of it? I know nothing of Dragon Ball Online. I've also heard it takes from something called fucking like Heroes, whatever that is. I don't know what Heroes is, but people are hoping for like a playable Android race. Even though I'm gonna be like 100 flame emoji with you all, I don't understand what the point of the Android race is in a Dragon Ball game. That's just a human. If I go through this, is it like different? No, it's the same thing. Absorbing key. Couldn't you just like make that like a regular attack on a human guy? Or am I like, again, am I missing something crucial here? The point is passive key regeneration. Couldn't you just make that like a passive skill? Or again, am I missing something here? The robo fuckers yearn to bone the robots. They're not even robots. They just look like people. Like, the androids I remember seeing were like 16, 17, 18. They all just look like people. Except for like that one guy that was like weird and like, you know, got obliterated by Vegeta. They're cyborgs technically in lore. Yeah, but they're people. The fat clown thing. Yeah, that. Like, okay, hang on. Android. DBZ. This is literally what shows up when you look up the word android. DBZ. These are people. These are just people. These are people. People. And everyone's just like, oh! Oh, we're in androids! We're in androids! These are people. Make a human. Just make a human character. That's it. Cell is also an android. Oh, yeah? There's gonna be Kai and Demon races to play as too. See, that I can understand. Because, like, Dabura makes sense. 2B's an android, everyone's gonna fuck that one too. When did I say nobody wanted to fuck the androids? I never said that. I said they're people. They look like people. You have made an entirely new sentence. But like, okay, Demon makes sense. Dabura, Demon, different guy. Janemba, Demon, different guy. The Kais, I mean, they're kind of just like they're weirdly colored people. I mean, like, they're kind of different, I guess. They might have like different transformations. I don't really. I kind of stopped watching Dragon Ball after like GT was bad. Kind of boring. But hey, that's a spinoff anyway, so it shows what I do. Why do you hate anyone who looks different to you and people from different countries? Why would you say that? I don't know why. I don't know why I said that. What can I say? You know, I have hate in my heart and a malice in my soul. You see, they're remaking the Beerus fight for the third time. I mean, they're making a new Dragon Ball game with Xenoverse 3. You know what we get to see. All right, we get to see. There's gonna be like a fight. Raditz is gonna be there. We're gonna have Piccolo use the special beam cannon on Raditz, and then we're gonna have to go fight Frieza on Namek, and then after that, we're gonna fight Cell, and maybe like in the Cell games. And after that, we're gonna fight Majin Buu and then Kid Buu, and then we're gonna use the Spirit Bomb for the people on Earth. I can't wait for the same story again. I mean, anime game. Anime game. We gotta make sure everyone's caught up, you know? I think I went middle last time. Let's go left. Android 8 is a Frankenstein. Android 13 is a cowboy. Android 14 is white. Android 15 looks like a racist character. Android 16 is the guy that blows up. Based on Jiro's son. Android 17 is the twink. 18 is Krillin's wife. 19 is Jiro. 20 is the weird clown thing. And 21 is the DBFZ baddie. Based on Jiro's wife. 22 is Cell. At some point, the fucker made Cell Max. They had a terrible but fun movie about it. Okay, so see, these are mainly just people. Swap 1920. These are people! They look like people! I am fucking speed. I should have taken missile. Or should I? Android literally means to look like man. Female looking android would be called gynoid, but android just became the term for robots in general. Where am I? I have to go down. Good thing I have 8 lives. Fuck! Alright, back to it. At the top and bottom of the screen start glitching out. I can only assume it's due to how slow the game is running. Because the game is, for some reason, heavily chugging. I don't know why. Memory leak. It would be very funny if, like, Kirby for the Game Boy had, like, an undocumented memory leak. Okay, I don't need to go there. I know this. I need to go there. Do I? No, I can go here. I'm winning, I think. Yes! I have a lot that I need to do, okay? I'm a very complex person! Can I look at the end? No, I can't, no. No, I physically cannot do this, no. But check out my sword. Like, how will you continue this when you go to Shen? That's the game plan. Beat this like today. or tomorrow. And then do a different Kirby game once I'm at Shan's. And then I am the big wiener. Humongous. My middle, first, and last name. That would be Canvas Curse. So Kirby Month is coming to an end, actually, after I beat the Amazing Mirror. There will be no more Kirby games whatsoever. They all are going to just stop existing. Sup, Milkman. Hello, bisexual crimes. Finally! Okay, so with the map, we now know that in Carrot Castle, there's nothing. There's nothing. There's literally nothing here. I need to go to Olive Ocean, which is Area 6. How do we get to Area 6? Is it from the Moonlight Mansion? Yes! No, wait, no, it's not. Because I'm pretty sure that's like the fast path that leads me down there and then like doesn't go anywhere. But you, in Kabosh Kavan, you intrigue me. Why is the smoke alarm going off in this house? If I die by burning, oh well. I'll make sure that you hear it live. Only here on twitch.tv. /MilkyTheSquid. No, I want this. Shorter than this. Yeah, but I have to do like I have to do Kirby Ball. I don't want to do Kirby Ball. Like, I remember drawing all the lines as a kid on Canvas Curse, and I was like, I hate this. Why can't I fly? Kirby can fly. Okay, I need to go to Caban, which is here. If you want to skip Canvas Curse, then it's Squeak Squad next. No. If something important happens in Canvas Curse, then I need to do Canvas Curse, even if I don't want to draw lines. Look, he hates art. Have you ever heard of this? Yes, I fucking hate it. There's so many lines and like... How will you do Rainbow Curse if lore is what you're after? I play it. All right, where is my wet? How are you friends with Shen if you hate art then? I don't really know, honestly. We kind of just get along. We hardly share the same interests, honestly. Like, we don't necessarily play a lot of games together. We kind of just, like, exist. Can I... Cutter sucks! Okay, so from here, there are many... There are many beam Kirby's. What about this? Stop. 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 Oh, no. Beam attack. Do I go here? No. Yes? No. 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 Release me. Okay, so somehow from here, I have to melt my brain. I have to go down. I have to go down to the ocean. I don't know how I do this, but I have to go down to the ocean. Then I will acquire the mirror shard from the big fish, the big whale. Thank you, sword. Do I need many for anything? So far, so no. Because this leads me over here. You are wheels. Wheels is no. This is the exit. This is the goal. This is no. All right, fine, give me a wheel. All right, that's the start. That's not where I need to go. Can you go down? I don't think so. Okay. Hear me out. We've been doing this for like 3.5 hours. And I'm nowhere closer to winning than I am like anywhere else. So what if instead... Alright, I did something. It's just really fun, okay? Like, it's really fun. Let's see. First, I'm gonna need this on that. Hello, Barnacle. Hello, Barnacle. Hello, Barnacle. you stop spinning? Thank you. I love climbing. I fucking love climbing! Why are your hands different than before? Because I changed them. I can do that. Ah! Climbing. Balls. I love climbing. So fun fact, usually you would have to reactivate the power here. Unless, of course, we do a little gaming. And this way, I can completely avoid the mistake of turning back on the power and turning myself into a finely graded squid. Instead, I just climb. I don't want that. I kind of want that. A little boog for a little me. We knuckling up? We're knuckling up! I did that way too early. No, my chance! Fuck! My greed. Fine, I'll do it slowly. Whatever. Knuckling it. Any predictions for Limbus Silhouette Tuesday? I'm hoping it's Thumb. Realistically, though, with all the double banners we've been getting recently, I can imagine them wanting to take a little bit of a break and it being a single ID banner, in which case it's going to be Middle Nurse Father. Let's fucking walk on. And then I scuba da bingus my way in here. Yo, blood bug? Blood bug? No blood bug. Well, you know what we do have in here? All right, we've got the one, the only 100% spawn chance injector. That's what I want. Thumb Nurse Father right now. Thumb Nurse Father I can see being the last one because it's going to be another double ID banner probably. His teeth still around. Not in this one. This is silos only. Scuba bingus. Scrub a bingo. Pee bongo. Galifianakis. Oh, I have no rebar. What am I, cringe? What am I, less than a gamer? The answer, no. Because I'm always gaming. Behold, my always game-attune. Rebar! So, fun fact about these. Usually, you see the pitons, you gotta like hammer them in with your hands or like with a hammer because you're stupid. Unless you're not and you're really good and you just don't do that at all. There's a grub. There's a grub. There's a grub. I want it. You fucking hate me. I want the grub. I need that grub. Hello. I love Knuckle because, like, the entire game is just go as fast as you want. Sure, there's a time limit, but, like, you don't really got to pay attention to it half the time. Put that in there. Do we have pills? We don't have pills. Oh, well. Give me access to that there. Ooh, pheromone glands would be funny. Fuck it. Money run. Yeah, I bet they have. Grub. Let me just do a little bit of that. Hello. Wow, what a nice grub. I hope nothing bad happens to the grub. The grub is my favorite grub. A distortion detecting having actual novels. I have no clue. I'll have to ask her about it. The world is my climbing oyster. And I am its humble oyster. Shellfish thing. Clam? Oyster. My friend. Roaches are real and they are my friends. Aw, nuts. All right, let's get the frick out of here. Sorry, almost swore on my Minecraft channel. I'm gonna fucking die here. Just kidding! A little bit of gamer humor for you there. Ah! Hello, roaches. A little bit of gallows humor there for you, because I'm sick. I'm twisted in the head. I'm sick with it as well. Realistically, I should have just like thrown that in the wall and just made like a more stable, like secure, like handhold. But also, it's a lot cooler if I do that. Oh, 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 oh! We got them all! We got them all! That's a triple play right there! You heard of the game Karen? I have seen the game Karen, yes. Is there an in-game speedrun timer? Probably. There's probably a timer somewhere I can turn on. Hello, barnacles. Mind if I use your tongues real quick? Thanks, guys. Big fan of you. And then we go like a little bit of this, and we do a little bit of this, and hello, granola reward. I mean, technically, I kind of don't need to do this, because, like, you know, grub maxing. Ooh, money mode. My friends. Oh, money mode! Would you play it? Probably not. It looks a bit too, like, serious of a climbing game, and also kind of, like, a bit more of an actual climbing game. And I'm not like a climbing game head. I'm a Knuckle head, which is very different. But imagine if I made that. Fine. Rebar. That. Wackling. Ooh, it's gonna hurt my overall carrying capacity, but as soon as I find a vending machine, I'm making money hand over fist. He, she, we, Knuckle. Grub? Or grub up there? Grub? No. My cup runneth over! That's a beautiful story. See, that's kind of the thing. Like, the reason I like White Knuckle is not for the fucking story. I like it because I can go fast. Alright, it's time to money max.
Security clearance alpha no longer valid. All personnel classified under alpha
Let's see. Pills would be nice. What do we got here? Elastic limbs is pretty okay. Back strengtheners for more. Whoa! It begins! System reorganization! Come here. What begins? The Wuckling. Oh, what's that do? Improves your movement, jump, climb, and stamina regen by 15%. It's basically a 15% buff to all of my stats. Which means now some jumps that I couldn't make before, I can now make. I can also, like... Oh, I mean, I already have an injector, so, like, fuck it. So with the injector bonus, I can now basically fly. I died? Somehow? What? Was it on its way back? Fuck it, I guess it's on me. Never do drugs. Clipped the crusher. Damn shame. Wackle. Oh well, not like it took me long to get there anyway. However, all of my, like, roach maxing was for naught. Whoa. My vision's getting kind of scary, everybody. Better watch out. I can talk with my hands in this game, like it's a machinima. Too bad that's entirely cosmetic. It does nothing. I love beat. So the secret for this one is always go on the outskirts, because if you go on the innards, it just takes forever and is, like, really slow. And the secret for this room is just go up, forehead, check the pipe. Pipe clear. Ah! I have, like, many friends that have, like, been trying Knuckle, and they're always like, I mean, I can't really, like, do what you do because, like, I'm afraid that, like, you know, like, I get worried when I see my hands getting red, and I'm just like, jumping funny. If my hands aren't red, I'm playing the game wrong, in my mind. Balls. Hee hee hoo hoo. Like, see? Stamina's a non-issue. Just eat beans. Let's see, what do I go up at here? Come here. We don't have the risk-reward mindset. You're cowards. You gotta have it. You gotta risk it big to win it big. Wuckle mindset. Wuckle grind set. Where are my Wucklers at? Who up wucking it right now? Bap. Oh, air exchange. I hate you.
Caution. Air exchange super notified. Biological obstructions detected. Facility airflow levels at 78%.
See? Wuckling it. That was honestly really clean. I go up here, I wait a little bit. I fall, that's very important actually. See, that helps sell the illusion that I'm actually like dog shit at this game. Like, Hello. My friend, my compatriot, my guiding moonlight. Rope rebar. Non-explosive rebar, but we make it work. Now, let me show you a little bit of a trick I learned, all right? It's called the zip line. You wait for one of these rat bastards to throw their tongue down this way. Kind of like that. You grab on, you smack it. Woo! These guys are supposed to, like, eat you or something, but, I mean, if you just kind of use them as, like, a mobility tool, then they don't do that because I'm faster than them, and they're slow and secured to the wall. Because they don't have legs. Stupid idiot. You're a mollusk. I mean, pitons are nice and all, but also, I don't care. $5 for me! This game is a very different game if you live with fear in your heart. If you don't live with fear in your heart, it's also, again, an entirely different video game. Hello, Barnacle. Let's see. You all go in there. Grub for me, please. Pills for me, please. This game looks sick. I just bought it. Knuckle is, like, stupidly good. I would heavily recommend everybody play Knuckle. Like, it's just kind of really fun. No matter, like, what skill level you engage with Knuckle at, it's just fun. Even if you take it slow and immersive, it's still fun. If you want to do it fast and, like, loose like I am, I like this. I think it's very fun. There's my handholds. I go. I have to go up. Yeah, I go up. Boop. Back. There's a Knuckle for all types. This is just my type of Knuckle. Is the music that was currently playing by the same guy that made music for No Straight Roads? No, this is made by Funk Fiction. Movement game for all skill levels. Does this start as Speedway more stupid? No, it is. The atmosphere and the monsters, I'd be too scared to do anything but watch someone play it. The monsters make sense. As you get further in the game, it does get very tense. Teeth is a very big, I would say, probably barrier for many people. Face is definitely probably like a huge horror thing. Because that entire section is very tense. So I get it. And I do have a very high horror tolerance, so the game lost its horror aspect for me very quickly. And then it just became about, like, what if I just was faster than all of you? Blood bug. You fake bitch. Ow! Oh. I just literally, just a little gallows humor for you. You see, it was actually a trick of the light. I was never in any real danger. How's this? I'll take an auto baton. Let's see, I then jump behind me to this, and then I go yeehaw, woohoo, yay, yippee, and then I go through the thing, and then I go yay, woohoo, yippee, and I grab onto that to not get mulched with a giant fan. Blood bug! Anyway. So you currently go a little bit of the, do a little bit of this, and we do a little of this, and we get our 100% injector spawn. You gotta remember that for later. Spark the Electric Gesture game. I know that Funk Fiction did music for Omega Strikers. Wow. Isn't nature beautiful? Bap, 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 yap. The Shattered Chambers. Now see, I like this tile set. Much more than I like Air Duct. Oh no! just a little gallows humor for you. This is not one of the ones that's rebar underneath it. Milky's fast as fuck. Kind of have to be. What am I gonna do? Play Wuckle slowly? What do you think this is? Slow Wuckling hours? No, this is fast Wuckling only. I live fast and loose, and if I die, that's not my fault. Actually, it is my fault. It's entirely my fault because I was too slow. I was too bad to go faster. Like that, entirely my fault. I was too slow. That, my fault. Too slow. This entire area kind of fucks me up because it's at like an incline. It's at like a slight angle. And that slight angle means that jumping, like I like to do, is more often than not punished because I bump my head on the wall. I'll take it slowly. My God. Fine. Whatever. But now I don't have to. Would there be a reverse of White Knuckle? We get to climb down. That'd be funny. Flying on pit with safety and grappling hook launches a giant centipede demon. I did play that one, actually. And funny enough, me playing that is what led to me playing, like, buying and playing Wuckle. More stamina. Oh, I killed it. Let's see, is it here? No, it's not here. The fun of Wuckle is finding your own Wuckling path. Because someone else could play this game and take an entirely different route than I'm taking right now. I could be doing it the wrong way. You might be like, Milky, what the fuck? Why aren't you taking my super fast way? And I'd be like, I didn't even know about your super fast way. And you'd be like, well, you're stupid. I'd be like, I am stupid. And then I'd be like, what if we kissed? I'd be like, oh my God. And then it comes full circle. Wuckling changes lives. Wuckle now. Find the partner of your dreams if you Wuckle now. Exploding roaches. Only if you Wuckle. Can I Wuckle? We do a little bit of silliness. Okay, so this room is actually pretty funny because it wants you to go through there and, like, crawl up the evil, like, hellfucks, like, slam path. What we can actually do is we can throw a rope rebar, like, right there, boost off this to get to the rope rebar, and now we're up here, which is immediately above all the slammers. So now we don't even have to deal with them because we just skipped it with using our eyes and observative vision. I can't pick up any more roaches. I would get heavier. I can pick up one more roach. Okay, I cannot pick up any more roaches. I would get heavier. And then my jumps would not be as good. And then I'm bad at the video game because jumping is everything. Let's see. I turn around and I do a little bit of the old the Knuckle shuffle as they call it. I really need to find the next like vending machine. You drop some of the rebar you almost never use to carry more roaches. You wouldn't get it. The rebar is like mandatory. Case in point, the rebar is mandatory. Yo, is that secret? Yo, is that a secret, my guy? Yo, are you hiding a secret? Can I see? It's okay, you can show me. Get out. Autopaton. Lovely pills. This way, over here. Got it. Thank you for being so nice. Get out. Oh no! Just a little bit of Knuckle humor for you. The mass is like closer than I thought it was. So honestly, kind of bad. You touched me, you died. Release me. Foul demon. Die 1,000 deaths. All right. So now I don't move. Roaches can be used to buy rebar at the vending machine. That's not what we use roaches for. We use roaches to purchase every single, like, perk restock until I get, like, good perks. AKA, like, you know, reformatting my own system. God, I fucking love granola. Alien! Alright, now we go over here. We do a little bit of the old Knuckle shuffle. Let's see. I have a rebar here. I can just throw that like right there. All right, are you ready to see me throw the run? Actually, maybe not. Stay safe. Velocity augments. Not bad. All right. This thing right here. This is where we throw the run. There we go. A wish granted. Now, my goal is to climb up this entire fucking thing. But as of right now, I have quite literally 0 perks. Any perk I had is now no longer in effect. I am doing this all by the skin of my ass. Well, you know, and items. I don't know what that means. But I bet it's good. Oh, this is like hell climb. Oh! Oh, yeah! Give me a good one! Give me a good one! What do we get? Okay, so what we just did was we did a big fucking thing. We got an artifact for it. This artifact is a spear. I can throw the spear and then retrieve the spear with my other hand, which means I can do shit like this. So, like, I can now basically just kind of, like, fly almost. So it's bam, and then we can get up there if I was better at the game. Like that. It's like we could turn that on, or I could fall into the pit and then die. And then I could just die. This is what I get for playing God. This is what I get for trying to have fun. Never forget, you're only one wuckle away from getting fuckled.